Oh, we back. Oh, we in the building. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Let me see what my mic sounding like this morning. My mic was hot as hell last night on King Talk. Let me know if my mic sound good to you on your end, or am I coming through too hot? My man JR is on well, I don't want to say on vacation. He's working. He just works in different area codes sometimes. So know if I'm coming through hot on the other end, on your end. But anyway, good afternoon to everybody. If you're on the West Coast, good morning. Where all my people at? Where y'all at? Got the North Side. All right. Up north, New York, New Jersey, Philly. What's going on? All my people in the DMV area, how y'all doing this afternoon? Special shout out. I see you, Ash, in the chat. Let me know where you're at. Where are our military people at? All my people in that area. Norfolk. What is it? Yeah, Maryland. My brother lives there. All my people. What's up? What's up? North Carolina, South Carolina, VA, DMV, ATL. Come on, Think and Throw. We in H-Town. I live here. I live here now. They know where we at. They know where we at. And just to throw it out there, if you are from Houston or Texas in general, right? Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. If you think you would want to see this show live, let us know. Let us know. I'm going to go to the big guy and see what we can do. See if we can get more of these live shows on the regular, right? Just right where you at. Just get a venue and chop it up on these shows. All right, Brooklyn. That's where I was born. All right, I ain't going to tell you everything about me, but I'm from Bedford and Sullivan. My man Ramses Powell. That's where I used to lay my head at. Okay. Bedford and Sullivan. Yeah, man. All my ATL people, what's up? Florida. I know we usually get Florida in the house. Jada says she's from Beaumont. Beaumont. Let me stop. I had a homegirl that went to Lamar University. I think that's the only time I've ever been to Beaumont. She called me on an emergency once because she didn't have a ride to her graduation. Her car died that morning. I thought Beaumont was 20 minutes away. I was fooled. That was like an hour and some change. And she ain't give me no gas money. But I guess she thought it was her graduation day. So happy graduation. I never talked to her again. All right. Think and Throw said he went to Lamar. Shout out to all my educated people. Where are my educated people? And I don't even mean formally educated. If you educated in your area expertise, what's up to you? Show me some love in the chat. All right. Shout out to all my educated people doing something with their life, whether it's a trade or skilled work of any kind. If you making things happen out here every day, if you at work listening to the Trigger Mike Show, welcome. You are appreciated for your patronage this morning. Daryl Brown says expert level. That's what I'm talking about. It takes a lot of hours to become an expert in something. I'm glad to have some experts in my chat. All right. Salute to everybody in the international people. We got Canadians watching. Shout out to you. Shout out to all our UK people listening, all our Africans listening. We got to be careful with that word now. People can't say my Africans. Y'all know why. My Africans is now pretty bad. I'm African, but still, you understand what I'm saying. That phrase is hot in these streets right now. All right. So for those of you that are notorious for coming into the show and not hitting the like button, please hit that like button. We got 90 people in the chat room right now and only 55 likes. Go ahead and hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Show us some love on this fine Wednesday. I need to check my account. What is it? Wednesday, almost the end of the month. Money coming in. But it's almost the first of the month, so a lot of bills to be paid. Damn. Now that I think about it, my car insurance is due. That shit went up. I'm tired of these people. As the economy slows down, everybody comes. All the deals stop. And all of a sudden, all your bills go up. Isn't that something? The way the world works? Yeah, I'm going to make a call, threaten to cancel, get them to do something. Oh, we have a special. I know you do. Run me that special. Run me that allowance, whatever the hell y'all doing. Hey, I would recommend that to y'all, by the way. I don't pay full price for nothing. Threaten them. It's most of the people have a department called customer loyalty. If I've been with Xfinity for damn near 10 years. I've been with State Farm damn near 10 years. I've been with all these people. They would rather cut you a deal than lose you as a customer. All my real people that work customer service know what I'm talking about. Customer loyalty is huge. Verizon gave me every discount in the book, and when I was about to leave, they gave me the employee discount. I got a military discount, employee discount. They don't want to lose you as a customer. Renegotiate all your bills, all of them. Get those things down. The economy is about to get tight, and we're going to touch on that a little bit on today's show. We're going to touch on that a little bit. All right. So make sure you subscribe. Let me say something. Let me say something this morning, man, because I remember Mr. Rich saying something on one of the broadcasts. Maybe it was yesterday. He said there's no way this network, the Lapeef Network, does not have 500,000, if not 1 million subscribers. I 100% agree. So if you look at us right now, as it stands, we're at 89.3. That's 89,300 subscribers. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers on this great network. Y'all have been listening and tuning into this great network, and we thank you. We thank you for your subscribership, if that's a word, for your patronage and your support. But on this road to 100,000, I'm going to need to ask something for you. If you love any show on this network, if you follow King Talk or Lapeef Let's Talk, or even on the other channel, Chic Critique, Bridging the Gap with Kelly, if you love anything about these networks, I need you to share this out to somebody, and I mean really share it. Share this out and let them know we're on the road to 100,000. I need you to support your people, and in all caps, I need you to tell them to subscribe. Tell them to subscribe to this network. We are on the road to 100,000, and we need y'all to make it happen. Share this out. There's no way this great network, a few years in, does not have 100,000 subs. Okay, there are people that watch this network that will type it into the search box, but have not hit subscribe. You need to support your people the right way. Go ahead and send this out to people and let them know they need to subscribe to the Lapeef Network. If you want to do your part, if you want to show your love to your people, I need you to do that right now. Share this out to your people. On the road to 100,000, all caps. Tell them subscribe. Put it in your Instagram story. Put it on your Facebook news feed. Road to 100,000. This one's for your people. Hit the link and subscribe. All right? All the way to 100,000. We're going to remind you every single show, everybody you can send it out to. They need to partake in these. These are not only good conversations about life and relationships. These are your people. These are your people. And I know you want to support them, and that's how you do it. So we appreciate your support. Who we got in the chat this morning? All right. If you want to support the show, of course, please, you can do so in the form of super chat if you are watching live. All right. We always appreciate the super chats. These productions do cost money, equipment, etc., and that's how you can help. If you are watching the broadcast after it is live, you can support in the form of super thanks, and we appreciate that. Who we got in the chat this morning? Dale Matthew, up early. Black, what's going on? Advanced Perception, Mr. Rich, what's going on? AP, my man, what's up? Hack, what's up? What's up? The Bullets Gotti Show, we appreciate your support, sir. Miss D, how you doing? Jada, how you doing? Vincent Minot, how you doing, my man? Big Pressure. Mrs. She Said, how you doing? My man Ash in the building. Thinking Throwed in the building. Lonnie Clark, what's up? Bam, what's going on? FNE, what's going on? Ramses, Bam, Wasade, how you doing? I don't think I've seen you before. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Miles, what's going on? Lacey, how you doing? One Queen Lady E, how you doing? Daryl Brown, how you doing? Smoke and Talk. Okay, we got some new names, but welcome to everybody. Boss Zay. All right, welcome. Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. You saw the thumbnail. We got some stuff to talk about today. Every day there is news. You know, this is something pretty funny. When they say the black community is their own economy and we are a such and such $1 trillion spending power, one of the ways you can understand that that's true is if you have only black news to talk about, then you're one hell of a community. May not be using, you may not be running on all cylinders. You may not be benefiting from your own stories and your own, you know, abilities, but there is a lot to benefit from in this community. We always got news. We can own our own media and not talk about anybody else, if y'all notice. But I'll continue. So Eva Marcille, who is this lady anyway? I remember. I'm just joking. This lady is getting divorced. Many of us have known her for years. She's been famous for a long time, actually. Many of y'all know her. Let me turn this light on. There we go. Many of y'all know her from America's Next Top Model. If I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. Did she win it? Did she win the whole show? Because I've been wrong before. I didn't watch that stuff. I just hated when my sisters took up the big TV watching that crap. All right. I think she's been in some movies too. She's been in some movies. That's what's up. I mean, that's how we know her. She's been around for a while. So a lot of these people have been famous for quite a bit, and that's all good. But my opinion on this is clear. This divorce does not surprise me one bit. None of them really do at this point. But let me tell you why I ultimately don't believe this one surprises me. This was not a marriageable woman. And let me explain that. Let me qualify that statement for you. This was not a marriageable woman to begin with. She had divorce written all over her from jump. And this dude should have known. I knew this marriage was doomed. Ask me how I know. Take your best guess in the chat. Why do you think this marriage was going to end in divorce, other than the fact that it was a B-list Hollywood marriage, not even an A-list, maybe even C-list? Why do you think this marriage was doomed from the start? We got to start teaching the fellas what to look for out here. Everything that glitters ain't gold. There might be, in fact, if we go back all the way to the Baywatch era, who remembers Baywatch, the show? They had all models. Marrying a model. I bet you if you run a statistic. Is like 10% success rate or less. I'm telling you. All the way back then from the Baywatch era, Pamela Anderson, I think Brooke Shields she might be married. She's a little more conservative, laid back, family type woman. But just keep going. Run the gauntlet of all the models. The success rate of their marriages is abysmal if you marry a model. This woman is telling you everything up front is about her vanity. Ooh, Tom Brady wife. Let's go. Now, as far as it pertains to black models, some of them do have one thing in common, I think. The reason I knew this marriage was doomed from the start, and I want y'all to follow me on this, most women that expose their marriage or committed relationship to the scrutiny of a reality show lose that relationship shortly thereafter. I don't know how many times I'm going to keep telling y'all this, man. I don't know how many times I need to tell y'all this. Stop going on these reality shows. Personal. My man Flex Henry says Cindy Crawford is still married. And you know what? It's like Brooke Shields. Is it Brooke Shields? No, it's not Brooke Shields, as a matter of fact. It's another one. I'm going to remember her name. She's married to the dude from Baywatch. David something. But my wife had tried to sign us up for that Black Love show. And I said, hell no. We won't go. To me, that's like a reality show. Light. It's like a light reality show. But for the reasons that I'll explain throughout the show, you'll understand. I feel very sensitive about displaying your marriage to public scrutiny. And I don't believe a lot of people will feel the need to protect their marriage until you understand this on a deeper level. On a deeper level, it is not the show that kills you. It's the public scrutiny that starts to infiltrate your marriage and break it apart slowly. There's only so much a man can take. Because remember, there are no male reality shows. Not really. A male reality show would be the stupidest strategic move for anybody to spend their money on. You just want to sit around and watch a bunch of niggas solve their problems all day. Say my bad dog, pat each other on the back and go bowling. All right, go smoke cigars. That's all you would see. They want drama. That's why they're focused on the women. They want drama. Ask me how I know if you get on a reality show, your relationship is doomed shortly thereafter. Very few make it through. Very few make it through. Another example of this is Drew Sidora. She's another example. If y'all know who I'm talking about, I love that lady since the game, the show. You remember? She was she was Drew Sidora on the game. Put a one in the chat. Hold on. Because I gotta be messy real quick. I gotta be messy. Put a one in the chat if you wish Derwin would have ended up with Drew Sidora. Because I do. And I was right. I was right in real life. Okay? I never liked Melanie. Something about Melanie I did not like. And now look, in real life, we don't like her either. I was right about that. Put a one in the chat if you think Derwin should have ended up with Drew Sidora. Ladies, don't let a girlfriend keep you from your husband. Did y'all hear what I said? Don't let a girlfriend keep you from your husband. That's not trifling. If you're not married, you're what? If you're not married, you what? Thank you. If you're not married, you what? Single. Don't let a girlfriend keep you from your husband. Drew Sidora should have showed up and swept that man. Like, nope, she can't treat you like I can. We out. Don't let a girlfriend keep you from your husband. If you ain't married, you single. Because once he's married, then you're doing something wrong. But don't let a girlfriend keep you from your husband, ladies. Some of y'all right now, pick your phone up like, you know what? This nigga's right. You know what? Let me go steal that man. She not doing him right. It's a blood sport out here for y'all. That man pining away for you, don't even know it. When that text come through from you, it's going to be a breath of fresh air. Don't let a girlfriend keep you from your husband. He should have ended up with Drew Sidora. Melanie was tripping. And now look who she is in real life. Look at who she is in real life. If these stories created alternate universes out there, Melanie already left Derwin. Y'all know that, right? She did the same thing Tia Mowry did. She already left Derwin by now. All right, on to another story. Oh, what did I talk about Drew Sidora for? Oh, her marriage. They filed for divorce. They went on the reality show, Real Housewives. They exposed all their business to the world. And now they're getting divorced. Be careful letting people in your business like that. All right? Be careful letting people in your business like that. It is not the reality show per se. It is the infiltration of others' opinions into your marriage that will slowly degrade that institution. Be careful. So Jonathan Majors, this one is kind of heavy right now because I'm watching the story very closely. So we know maybe it was Saturday or Sunday. Jonathan Majors' accuser was accused of assault. And I believe the alleged accuser was his girlfriend. That news was everywhere. That news was on Shade Room, Spiritual Word. I could not scroll 2 thumb swipes without seeing Jonathan Majors' Civil War era looking ass face on my screen. Everywhere. I got a serious bone to pick with the media on this one. A serious bone to pick. Right after the news broke about his arrest, and if I'm not mistaken, did he call the cops? Isn't he the one? Isn't it reported that he called the cops? Let me know if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But right after that, his face was everywhere. So now it has been stated by Jonathan Major's lawyer that the accuser recanted their statement. And in fact, we need to give definitions here. Let me give you a definition of what recant means. Y'all say he called the cops. Cooking with Sir said he called the cops. Mr. Rich said he called the cops. That's crazy. Now look at him. He called the cops, likely for his own safety and awareness for his own career. He called the cops, and all of this is happening to him. We're going to take mental notes. The story can still develop, but remember, I say all the time, the accusation kills you either way. Even when you do the right thing. Even when you're the one who wants to diffuse the situation. Somehow you can end up at fault anyway. Cold world for men, isn't it? Isn't it? So let's get to the definition of what recant means. Say that one no longer holds an opinion or belief, especially one considered heretical. All right. So another definition is to withdraw or repudiate a statement or belief formally and publicly. So Jonathan Major's accuser recanted her statement in writing, per Jonathan Major's lawyer. Why don't I see that reported anywhere? All of these media outlets reporting that he was accused. He allegedly did something. Now the accuser recanted her statement. Radio silence. Ladies, do you see the savage nature in which the world treats men? Do you see it now? I don't even know. We don't know the details of what happened. But what I'm getting at here and what my ultimate point is, it is the accusation that kills. And you women know that. Some of you are using it to your advantage. And I hope the women that practice this behavior understand. One day they're going to put you under the jail for this shit. And I can't wait. Wrongfully accuse someone, they need to put your ass under the jail. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe that. We're not playing around with y'all. If you think that's savage, understand. Let me go a little bit further. If you think that's savage, you going around bearing false witness against your neighbor, they should put you under the jail. Dave Chappelle said something very profound in one of his specials. Very profound. He said, taking a man's livelihood is akin to killing him. You trying to kill that man. The accusation is what kills. Half the people gonna think he did it. Some of the people gonna think he paid her off to recant. Very few people are gonna stand by for further information that will never come to exonerate him. Because maybe she was telling a half truth. The accusation kills. Y'all know that. But God gonna deal with y'all. Time gonna deal with y'all. I hope they put y'all under the jail. This dude literally is the man of the year. You talk about a livelihood. Someone's livelihood. I can't think of a greater livelihood in 2023. Someone building and making something of themselves more than Jonathan Majors was doing. Can't think about anybody. He is the man of the year, undoubtedly. I don't think anybody can do anything for the rest of 2023 to overtake him. He is absolutely the man of the year. Kang from Marvel. Creed 3 just got picked up to shoot the Dennis Rodman movie about his few nights in Vegas. Come on, man. You already know that's gonna be. You already know that's gonna be crazy. He was definitely the man of the year. Now everybody gonna want to put something on pause. The U.S. Army shot an ad with him, immediately pulled it, letting you know they're thinking about taking this man's livelihood from him. Let's start getting this prison time ready for these false accusers. Like we're gonna let the story play out. But my ultimate point is it's the accusation that kills. No one is worried about whether it's true or not, especially if a person recants. You won't even report that. You were so quick to report the accusation. He loses points for picking up a skank. Hey, you know what? We got to teach these men better. Protect yourself at all times, like my man Hink says. Shout out to Hink for that. Let me drop this link so y'all can come up. Just getting to the last part of this monologue. All right. So the last thing I wanted to cover, and this is something people might have scrolled past, but I think it's pretty important. I need y'all to be on the watch and on the lookout for this. Apple launched a pay later service. And I think this is pretty significant. All right. I just was scrolling. I forget what media outlet. It says Apple launches pay later service. You got Klarna, you got Afterpay, you got all of these other pay later services coming. And I need to share something with y'all. When I saw that Apple is doing this is going to put a lot of y'all in trouble. This is going to put a lot of y'all in debt. And I don't mean y'all specifically, but just people you know, especially young people. Affirm all of these pay later services. All right. This is going to put y'all in debt. I want you to pay close attention to the sequence in which these things are happening. The economy is in trouble. In an effort to keep you purchasing products and services, every payment processor will eventually have a pay later function. I need y'all to pay attention. I need y'all to be responsible. Don't y'all understand what's going to happen if they give you the option to pay later? You want to take a wild guess? You think people live outside of their means now? You think people live outside of their means now? All of your favorite things, even though you can't afford it, even though the hours aren't available at your job. I don't think people in this country are particularly financially responsible. And then you give people a pay later function on their phone at that. They're going to give you a guaranteed Apple card. I guarantee it. On your own phone, the device you carry around with you. My man Kenny says middle class payday loans. Exactly. This is a payday loan. The trick is that they're going to lure you in. They're going to lure you in with zero interest if you pay on time. As soon as you miss a payment, what's going to happen? If you can't pay or anything happens to you, or anything happens to your job and you can't pay, the interest is just going to start tacking on and they're going to get you. Debt is how America feeds itself. Just another way to get people in debt. I thought that Apple was above this, but I guess not. I'm going to drop the link again for those of y'all that want to come up. Make sure you're cammed up. Let me read some stuff in the chat. All in and cam up. All right, the link is dropped for y'all, for those of you that want to come up, talk to me. Let me get a thumbs up, Mr. Rich. All right, good morning. My man Cooking with Sir says, it's made to put you in debt you can't get out of, but they won't have the credit laws to stop them. Super loan sharks. Hey, at least my people know, man. I'm telling you, don't bite the bait. But it's not even, you never really have to tell this to responsible people. They're looking to get irresponsible people. They're looking to get 18-year-olds that work at Starbucks and Raising Cane's. You at 18, they're looking to put you in debt for life. 28, no, there's no way. There's no way. AP, you serious? I didn't even look this up. This is what they call predatory lending. 28% interest every week. Oh man, it's going to be bad. It's a trap. It's a trap. All right, Mr. Rich, what's going on? What you got this morning? Opening thoughts.
No, I hear you. I mean, on the first topic, I'll have to admit I'm not that sanguine about the topic. It's a typical chick who's monkey branching. The only thing I'll give her credit is that she wants to get a divorce so she could ride the carousel guilt free, and that's better than cheating on your husband. She sees an opportunity to get a better man. He's outused his usefulness. If she had well, she already had a kid before they got married. I understand, but she I guess achieved her biological imperative by having 3 kids. That's now she wants to leave him because he outlived his usefulness. And here's the deal. The thing I have a problem with her is not the fact that she wants to leave him. She still wants him to pay. She still wants him to pay. She's going to take the kids and she still wants him to pay. That pisses me off. Just if you're going to leave, just leave. You're rich. You got money. Why you want
Yep.
him to constantly tethered to you by giving you money? Now he should fight full custody for his sons, because all she's going to do is hire an au pair to raise the kids because
Yep.
she's going to be off busy trying to make movies.
Yep.
So hey, give me my kids and go off and ride the carousel. Blow your career up if that's going to happen. But don't take my kids with you. Get the hell out of here. Just go.
Yep.
So I have some issues with her on that plan. I mean, the divorced women do that. But why you want to tether yourself to me? Get the hell out of my life, right? And that's it. And give me my children. So it's my sons. You could keep your daughter. That's your daughter. Give me my sons, and let's have a nice break. That's my
Yep.
first take on that. The second one was what's the second? The second one, not the Apple Pay one. I mean, it's another
Jonathan
problem.
Majors. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, the Jonathan Majors issue is distracting, but you know what? It's his fault. Of all the women out there, why would you tether yourself to a woman you didn't fully vet? Because a woman that's going to try to take the bag away from you and do all that shit that you have to argue with like that in the first place by just getting together with, come on. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can see him trying to, plow through a whole bunch of women. That's one thing. But how are you going to tether yourself to a woman who would be so easily for her to try to bag, to jam you up?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man. She had to show some kind of signs before. I mean, so I'm not giving them a complete pass. Not because she's just white, because a black sister will do that to you too. Matter of fact, black women are killing black men these days. What I mean, deleting black men these days. So
Yep.
anyway, and then on the Apple Pay thing, it's just another glorified credit card.
Yeah.
And we could talk about that. All right.
No doubt. No doubt. So with the pay later function, you think it encourages people to live outside their means?
The whole society encourages people to live outside their means. What in the society encourages people to live by their means? There's nothing, there's no economic thing in our society that encourages people that's announced that encourages people to live within their means. Where, right? You want to buy a house? They try to tell you to buy a house that you can't afford just if you can make the payments. You can't do anything else. You can't eat, but you got a house.
You
You
gotta.
can't repair it, but you got a house. You can't take it. They never really tell you about the day-to-day cost of maintaining the liability of a house.
Mm-hmm.
The house you live in is a liability. And,
Yep.
if you're gonna sell real estate and all that kind of stuff, that's one thing. But the house you live in is a liability. Then the only thing you're thinking about is when am I gonna pay this crap off? Because they already took away the tax break for your house, right? If it's over a certain threshold, they took it away. Was it 10,000? They capped it or something for the rich.
Hmm.
So anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Nothing. What encourages anybody to live within their means, except somebody who's educated, teaching the young people not to do it.
Indeed. Let me get to these super chats. If you just tuned in, welcome to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're just joining us. We got 217 people in the building and only 102 likes. Get those likes all the way up to 150 right now. We appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in. Let me get these super chats read. Mr. AP super sticker $5. We appreciate that. The Bullets Gotti Show 2.0 $50 super sticker. Thank you for your support. Mr. Rich says he loses points for picking a skank. Every man kind of does.
Yeah.
Sir Sampson, $5 from here. They are going to bring back debtors prison, and that will be the free labor force. Just a thought. Damn. So this is, I think, related to that
That's a good
social
point.
credit system and all of that. If you have poor social credit, you got to work. That's slavery.
So let's talk about that as prison. For the most part, is eliminated except for the casinos in Vegas, right? If you owe casinos, they can come after you not only civilly but also criminally, I believe. I'm not 100%. I think I read that somewhere. So they have a debtor's prison for maybe not for a regular credit card, but damn sure for the casinos. I think they have it.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's crazy. All right. So going back to the Eva situation, why do men marry non-traditional women? So my position on this is that for some reason, I mean, maybe it's because I had a good upbringing. I had an example, two-parent household, all of that. So I always knew I'd marry a certain type of woman. And even when I was being stupid and thought that, hey, let me be wild out here, something about a woman's behavior and how seriously I took her, it was because I didn't see basically that wife gene, the wife material behavior inside of them. But I always knew I wasn't going to marry a woman like that. A woman was going to have to be graceful. She was going to have to be kind, elegant, nurturing, all these type of things that we talk about good wives and mothers should be. So why do you think men like Eva Marcille's now, about to be ex-husband, why do you think they marry such non-traditional women? Like I said, models have a terrible marital record. Everything is about vanity. I can't think of a job that will basically tell you straight up that this woman is superficial, likely vain, and just basically that. What are your thoughts?
Well, men overlook that kind of stuff for women anyway. I mean, all the good stuff you said, we don't know if she's not, nurturing and kind and all that kind of shit, but she's ambitious, right? So her ambition could be, everything is like a trade-off. She could
Mhm.
have a little bit of all that stuff, but her ambition was bigger, right? And maybe she's an opportunist, right? Like I said before, I think that when she married this guy, it suited her needs. He still had to ask her, and he
Yeah.
he he kind of knew what she was already, in the front of a camera, so that wasn't new to him. The thing is that I don't know is if he didn't sign like a prenup, right? But I don't know who makes more money because he's like a lawyer or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of a high priced lawyer he is, but she probably has a little bit more dough than him, maybe. But she wasn't because she wasn't from the Real Housewives or something, right? She was on the Real
Yeah.
Housewives.
I'm pretty sure she's the one making out. She also has a show on BT.
So yeah, and the new one, Queen,
She's the star of the show. So
she's the top dog, and that's a
mhm.
kind of newer show, a Tyler Perry kind of show, right? I believe. And
Yep.
so she's looking at that, damn, I could be monkey branching from this to movies or something like that. And a lot of women like her, and I can see this. Now, why did he marry her? Because at the time he was enamored with her, just like every other man. you know, and she was a baby mama. He didn't care about that, so he overlooked that. She gave him 2 sons, right? That satisfied his biological, because I don't think he had any kids until he met, until he met her. So she satisfied what he needed at the time. Now, if he was thinking we were going to be married for the rest of our lives, which most men do,
yep,
she well, you got another thing coming, brother. I got some, I got some more shit coming on. I can monkey branch from your stink ass to some new guy. And so I'm gonna divorce you for irreconcilable differences. I'm not gonna tell people you were a bad guy, or you beat my ass, and all that kind of shit. I just want to go ahead and ride the carousel without guilt, right? And so, brother, you serve your purpose. You gave me a couple of seeds and shit, and that's it. It's time for me to leave, and that's what she's doing. And if you notice, media, I'm gonna shut up on this one. Media praises single baby mamaism for stars, and they praise them when they get divorced. She's getting all kinds of praise now. Yeah, you left that confining Negro. He outlived his usefulness. His wallet was this much, and his dick was this much. So now, you can go out for finer pastures, and maybe she'll find out that there's no greener pastures out there. But maybe she doesn't care. She just wants to be free to ride the carousel as she pleases.
Money and marriage. Let me get a thumbs up. All right, bet. All right, good morning, Black Man Unfiltered and Money Marriage. What y'all got on the topic? Well, good afternoon.
Man, good afternoon, my brothers. How y'all doing, man?
Hello.
I just want to say, man, listen, I told my wife this, man. This was probably 3 or 4 months ago when Eva started to get really, really big with this new show, this trash ass show she got called All the Queen's Men. She was on a well syndicated morning show with Ricky Smiley morning show. And she would do little videos before because when she was sitting at home, washing dishes and wiping babies' asses, and having a little modeling money. She was good with her little husband, right? And she would take pictures and videos of him in his new cowboy boots, and she'd be just all for him. But I told my wife said, you know what? See, y'all always be talking about how women don't love men that don't make what they make. I say, Henrietta, baby, listen, that's my wife's name, Henrietta. I said, Henrietta, listen, baby. I'm gonna tell you something. She's gonna leave this nigga. When she get a check, she gonna leave this nigga. She's done. She told me, I don't know, she really in love. They're a power couple. I said, okay. Now, yes, when the news broke yesterday, I didn't say nothing. I came home. I'm so petty. I came home, I printed it out on paper. I put it in a nice little old frame. And I said, man, I got you a gift. And she said, what is it? I said, open it up and just look in there. She looked in there. She said, boy, you so damn petty. I am. Because I told you that this woman, when she get that big check from BET and that big check from the syndicated radio show, that she was going to leave this dude. He's a regular Joe Blow. She's not going to stay with him because she thinks she's beautiful. She got money and she got more opportunities. She left him when the opportunities came. She's in the Tia Mowry bucket now.
Yep. And look, everything you said, the timeline fits. The timeline fits, bro. Because when she got with him, she had nothing shaking. And then I'm hearing now, and I just looked it up. This dude messed around and adopted her daughter.
Right.
So even if she ever falls on hard times again, and that kid is not 18, he's going to be on the hook for that baby. So
Mike, and that's what I say, Mike. That's why everybody get mad at me. But this is the reason why I teach my son this. I say, listen, love everybody, but don't marry, don't date these single mamas. Because what's going to happen is you're going to fall in love with the kid, which the kid is innocent. I ain't going to never say nothing bad about no kids. The kids are innocent, but you're going to fall in love with that kid, raise that kid, take care of that kid. And at any moment, she can rip the marriage and that kid away from you. And there's nothing you can do about it. All because, like, even right now, that man probably loves that child with everything in him. And she didn't rip that child from him. She's never going to let him see that. And that's why don't date these single moms, bro, because this morning, Mike, man, I don't know if you saw it or not, bro. I'll send it to you DMs. this morning it was a on the Shade Room or whatever, somewhere where I saw a video of a young lady antagonizing a man after court. The court told him he's going to pay $1,200 a week in child support on a kid that's not even his. He adopted, bro. And after court, she's chasing him down the stairs, talking about, get that $1,200. He said, why would you do this to me? Why would you put me on a live and try to embarrass me? And she said, yep, I'm getting that $1,200 a week. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm just thinking about shit I can buy right now with this $1,200 a week. And she got it on live, antagonizing this man.
Damn.
So at any moment, they can rip these kids out of your life. So don't just leave them alone, man. Just leave them alone.
Damn. Look, I really want to take a break and watch that. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. PhD, real quick. I just need a thumbs up. Then you can, if you're listening in the back. All right, got you. Money, Marriage, and Media. What's going on? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Well, first I wanted to answer the question you got up there. Why do men marry non-traditional women?
Yep.
Plain and simple, lack of options. Most women today are not traditional. As a matter of fact, I would say that traditional women are on their way out the door because most women don't want to be that way anymore. What you're looking at is you have younger women who look down on traditional women. They say, I don't want to do that. You're a slave. I'm going to be a modern woman and look for a traditional man. So I think that we as men, we're going to have to raise our sons to, number one, value traditionalism more.
Yeah. But
also we've got to start having conversations about the benefits of nuclear family. Because again, if women are saying that I don't want to be traditional anymore, that's because they just don't see the value in it.
Yep.
But if there are no men around to go through that, to promote family, then why would they? So the bad part about that is it means that at some point there's going to have to be an age group or a generation that bites the bullet and says that, okay, I've got to figure out a way to make marriage work with a modern woman so that we can so we can raise a traditional family. It sucks to say that. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so my only disagreement is that we never in history have people failed to this degree and then did a 180 to change it around. It is only catastrophe that makes people change. These women actually need to, this is going to sound so bad. They need to fail and die. It needs to be that level of cataclysm occurring. People need to see them fail and be homeless. Like literally the worst thing in history needs to happen to them to where it's documented in history that way. Because think about it this way. We have hope. This is the thing I've noticed about black men. At this age, for women that are in their 30s, still behaving like men don't matter, we have hope that someone that age can actually change when they're incentivized by the government to be this way. So these women actually need to fail and die. Like literally everybody needs to see them laid low, destitute, dying alone, nobody to care for them because their children are going to hate them. Their children are going to hate them. They're not going to want to care for them. Right. So even though they aren't married and it didn't prioritize that, they still have kids. Those kids are going to be born into poverty, end up hating the mother and resenting them from keeping them away from their father. And this needs to be documented in history just like that. What men actually need to do. And listen, I'm now a full advocate. I'm out the game, but I'm a full advocate of the passport bros now. And not for the reasons that everybody wants to portray. And, you go out there and you're having sex and you're carrying on. Not for those reasons. Men need to experience traditional women, period. You need to experience women that still care about family because everybody's like, oh, there's feminism over there. Cool. Agreed. They're still in first and second wave. Y'all are going on fifth wave over here in the U.S. At least if women care more about themselves and their opportunities now in other countries, they still care about their children and how they're raised. We don't have that here anymore. Women think they can do a man's job.
Hey, Trigger Mike, I sent and check your DMs, Trigger Mike. I sent you that video, brother.
Well,
yeah,
Mike,
I'm gonna download that.
Trigger Mike, I think that the call to action that you're concerned about, that all these groups of people, there needs to be some kind of calamity. We're only a generation away from that, though, because remember, the average woman today does not make enough to make it to the end of life through retirement.
I agree.
So there's going to be an extensive problem in this country, which the government cannot afford to solve for us, to where we're going to have never before seen levels of female homelessness.
I was going to say, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So half of the women by 2030 in the United States will be single. So we understand that women don't even want to, they don't have the capacity for work. Even if they work, it's part-time, it's doing different types of work in the church. Look at like this. Do you see any 60-year-old lawyers defending people in the courtroom? Hell no.
What was that lady's name? All right.
Yes. I'm talking about in droves. I'm talking about work, intensive work. Do you see old women doing it the way you see old men doing it? No.
I'll do you one better. When's the last time you see elderly greeters at Walmart? Because the majority of the population, they don't have advanced degrees or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But I want you to notice that those jobs that are traditionally held down by elderly people, they're not hiring for that anymore. If you're going to work at Walmart, they finna have you in the back lifting boxes.
Yeah. The online thing is kicking up too. That's what they need from you. You right. So PhD, welcome. Good afternoon. What do you got on the topic?
Thank you. Well, so initially, my first question was, my understanding is that in the divorce filing, she never indicated, like she didn't give a reason. She didn't say it was irreconcilable differences. She didn't say it was like infidelity. She left it blank, right? Mm-hmm. So she just filed for a divorce. But I've heard like several explanations for why she filed for divorce. She wants to ride the carousel. She, this, that, and the third. So how do you all know why the woman filed for divorce? Because her track record, she's been engaged several times, and now she's married, and this relationship is ending. She was in an abusive relationship before. So her track record would suggest that she doesn't really pick the best men to get into relationships with. And so I'm just wondering, like, how you all were able to piece it together that she filed for divorce because she want to ride the carousel or for some other nefarious reason.
She's for the streets.
Oh, shoot. Did y'all wait? What happened there?
That was God, man. He just.
Oh man, I don't know what happened there. That took two people out.
Wow.
I didn't do that. Y'all come back up. I did not do that.
Yeah, she for the streets. Yeah, she for the streets.
Even marriage meeting. Let me click on this, but let me answer her question. Damn, what happened there? So y'all saw that too. Huh?
Yeah.
It just
let me say this before you go, Mike. When she said there's not irreconcilable differences.
Let me get a thumbs up.
I got an article right here that says she cites irretrievably broken marriage as the reason why she's leaving this dude. These are her words, right? So she did say why she's leaving. It depends on what article you read. It's a celebrities article. Now, how accurate that is, I'll give that to PhD Diva. But it says her, in quotes, irretrievably broken, whatever that means. Yeah, so, I don't know.
Our pain. She was broke when so the man. Okay, so you've been with this man this long. Why didn't you have these things? Because a broken marriage don't happen overnight. It happens over time. And so if she has a broken marriage, when you over there wiping asses, didn't have no job, living off your modeling money, didn't have no position, didn't have no radio station money, none of all this other stuff, syndicated stuff. When you had before those opportunities, you was on Instagram every day, posting pictures with your husband, laying up, right? And now when you get the #1 syndicated radio show in the country, now you own all the Queen's Men. Now you get all these opportunities with commercials and Lifetime movies, all this different stuff. Now, my marriage is so broken, I can't even reconcile. I got to go. No, you're selfish. You making enough money. You making too much money. He's not making enough money. You want to be by yourself. Tia then started this shit and opened Pandora's box. And these older women think they're getting a second win when they're not. These women are on hospice, and anybody knows when you're on hospice, you get a burst of energy for a little while right before your ass die.
And let me ask you, Mike, what's going on, man, with the
With what?
With the people coming up and stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea what.
Hey, so
I'm trying
Mike,
to.
Trigger Mike, yeah, StreamYard, it did it to me a while back. What it does is it start taking people down, it'll drag them down, then you pull them back up and they'll flip them in and out, bro. It's some crazy technical shit with StreamYard, bro.
Yeah, it just took those last two out, like at the
Matter of
same
fact, you know,
exact
I
time. So
subscribe to Money Marriage and Media. I subscribe to his channel. He's one of the newer YouTubes. I was happy to see him come up.
yeah. Money, Marriage, and Media and PH Diva. I dropped the link again if y'all want to come up. I have no idea what's going on with the system, but it just dropped both of you consecutively. I don't know what that was about. Let me get to this. Something Witty Jim said. So he says, Mike says this, but he is out of the game and found a wife. If you vet properly, you can too. That was actually my point. It is extremely hard for young dudes today to experience traditional women. A lot of their mothers aren't even traditional. If we recall, 70% of black men alive today were either raised or exposed to a single mother without their, without the day-to-day engagement of their father, rather. So what I want people to do is travel, and not for the sense of, like I said, going out, running the streets, carrying on in other people's country. You need to experience traditional women that care about marriage, raising children properly, and would die before they left you. See, I understand hypergamy at the deepest level. Women have a lot at stake. It's their womb. You got to be careful who you give it to. I understand hypergamy in that way. But once you've chosen someone, your hypergamy stops. Once you have children, your hypergamy stops. Be the best mother you can be. Be the best wife you can be. I would rather repair my marriage 1,000 times than to go try to start something with somebody new. These women in this country don't have that.
Absolutely,
they don't have that gene anymore.
Yep, these hoes ain't loyal.
Wrong. They want out because they had one foot out the door the whole damn time. That is terrible for a man to experience if he had both feet in, if he was fully in the house. Have you not noticed, because BMU just basically alluded to it, a man's advancement in life is directly tied to his family's advancement. He make more money. In fact, have y'all not noticed when a man makes money, start getting that bag for real, he relieves his wife of duties. When a woman starts getting that bag, she relieves herself of the husband entirely. Is that not what we're seeing?
Yep, with black men, my grandfather used to say, the rising tide raises all ships. When we do great, we want our wives to do great. We want our children to be great. The entire aura of the family changes. Where the kids go to school, how our women dress, how our women, what position we put our women in. But when, like you said, when women get that bread, man, listen, you mean to tell me I'm living in a country where I'm backed by women, I'm backed by the government, I'm backed by I have all this support. I can just release myself from this man. They're going to give me half of everything that he got. Plus I'm going to have what I'm making too. And I can be free. Oh, I'm in. And that's what's happening, bro.
Yep.
But ultimately, isn't that a byproduct of the system that men created? So if so
what men created it though?
Men generally. What do you mean? What men?
No, I'm saying what men, because there's a particular type of man. See, what we have, PhD, I'm gonna say this. What we have is we have pimps. And what we've had for a long time is white daddy being the pimp to the black woman. And basically what they're saying is, just think about it. Every woman comes equipped with a red emergency button. And let me tell you what that red emergency button does. If I don't like the situation I'm in, I can hit the red button, get a divorce, take half of everything he has. If I don't like the fact that I don't like the way he smells in the morning, I can file for divorce, take half everything he got. I cannot be with him, and the system will give me 33% to 43% of his paycheck every week or every other week. And that red button is an emergency button. And white pimp daddy say, listen, all you got to do is take the black man out the house, and I'll give you more. Imagine if you went to your job today, Trigger Mike, and your boss told you, hey, you can go home. Hey, you ain't got to work here no more. You can go home. You can sit on your ass and play the PlayStation 5 all day. You don't have to do nothing. And all you got to do is tell your wife to get the hell out. And we'll pay all your bills. We'll pay your mortgage. We'll pay your car note. We'll advance you in the workplace. All you got to do is get your wife out the house. most men will not do that to their wives, but women have those opportunities, and they have that red button, and they use that emergency button on their black men. And the white men have been
Oh
pimping
gosh.
them since the beginning of this whole welfare and feminist movement. They've been pimping
Okay.
them.
Can we? I wasn't actually talking about that. So when I say that men created this system, men
Yeah.
created the system where women, for a large part of like American history, were relegated to the home, right? So we weren't out in the workforce. So it was, a patriarchal system where the men
Yeah.
provided and the women were at home. So that's why when the divorces became legal and socially acceptable, that's why men had to give up part of their income because the women didn't have opportunities to work, like the men did. So
Yeah.
by men instituting or implementing that type of system, they created the situation where women expect men to be
Yeah.
providers, right?
So
So when
that's
women
kind of, yeah.
get
Go ahead, man.
their money, they're more likely to say deuces because now you're not the provider, at least under,
So
in the
so
picture that
yeah,
y'all are painting.
that's kind of a
So
moot
that's
point
still
because
y'all's fault.
yeah. No, I'm
It's
saying
not a moot
that's
point.
kind of a moot point because men create
It's
everything,
not
right? So
right. Okay, but
it's
you
really just
created
more
this
of an
system.
antiquated. It's an
No.
antiquated system at this point, and more specifically to the black community, black people had no business ever entering into that institution in the first place. We weren't suffering from what you're talking about. All right, so
Yes, because the women were
the part
always
that's
forced to work
also
because y'all had no
very well,
power.
yeah. Let me finish. The part that's also insidious is that now it was more of a backstop to men taking advantage and leaving their women destitute because remember, children were also the property of the man
Mhm.
at that time. So you take the woman's kids, lay her low, leave her with no money. That's the part everybody leaves out. Now, because of the no contest divorce and all that, or no fault divorce rather, and a
Yeah.
woman getting custody majority of the time, nobody ever thought that a woman would do that to her kids to relieve herself of her husband in an effort to hurt him and take the kids. Nobody ever thought women had the capacity to do that if you were looking out for your children. So, in my estimation, unless a man is beating your ass, you have no reason to leave kids or to leave your husband. I'm sorry.
Can I ask something, Mike? Though,
Yeah.
in terms of
Exactly.
instead of going back down, some memory lane on how we got here, the reason why I said now I'll own it. The reason why she wants to leave her husband, part of the reason, is so she could ride the carousel without guilt. Right?
Let me get
So
off
there's no
Exactly,
doubt
bro.
about it. So
How do you
Talk
so
your
know
talk.
that?
well, let me answer. I'll tell you why.
Mr.
Because
Darku, let me get a
I
thumbs
gave
up.
I gave her credit for that, by the way, because she could just cheat on him. See, there's some bullshit that a woman says to herself that I can't expand to my horizons within a marriage. It's nothing. If I'm married to a woman who's on an upward trajectory and she becomes a queen of the world, you could do that within a marriage. I mean, my own relationship with my wife, she has some things that are solely hers, and I never take that stuff away from her. But it's still within the confines of the marriage. I want one woman to tell me what's the reason why you need to be free and break your kids from your marriage and your family, other than to get your back blown out by some other asshole, without guilt. I mean, what else? She could have been the queen of the. She could be an Oscar-winning actress within a marriage. That's not going to stop her from being an Oscar-winning marriage. She's leaving her husband and breaking her family so she can somebody else could bust those cheeks. Let's get down to brass tacks. It's
Yep.
just bullshit. She's 38 years old. She's still cute. She's monkey branching up because this man outlived his usefulness. I mean, I'm not trying to even make shit negative. It's all hypergamy. She's still
Yep.
living her hypergamous nature. And
Yeah,
why are we gonna argue that shit? I mean, it doesn't make her a horrible woman. She's just doing what women fuck. I mean, not correct.
but you know what, our pain? We need more. We need more Angela Bassett's, bro, because she been with her husband for 27 years. She make 10 times what he make, and she
This is
right there with that boy.
this is what I'm talking about. When we look at the timeline of women and where they behave, it's women that understand the value of a man. Period. Do you like literally intact family everywhere they go? I didn't even know they had kids till their son did what he did, right? But it's the gracefulness of the women, the way they carry themselves, the things they don't say in public. Angela Bassett is that type. I don't know nothing about that lady life. And that's the way she wanted. I guarantee it. That's the way she wanted. She only know all we know about her. She fine as hell for a 65-year-old lady. That's about it. And she stayed with her husband. That's it. So now women are coming out trying to, and really what it is it's the renegotiation of who women think they're supposed to be in society while forcing the same traditional norms on men. Who the hell do they think we are?
Gentlemen, hello, gentlemen. I just want to I got to go real quick, but I just want to say hello to the men on the panel and the chat. I just will have one thing to say. Can we please stop having this disingenuous conversation with these lying women? First of all, black women, since they were brought to this land, have never, and I mean never, been housewives. Unless you were the top 1% of the 1%. 99% of black women have always had to work. So all this, we were, back in the day, we were in the house. No, you were in Miss Ann's house, cleaning her toilets, cleaning her floors, breastfeeding her babies. That's what you were doing. Black women have always had to work, since they were brought here. So all these black women talking about how, back in the day, we couldn't work and all that. Nah, you were always working. You were either in the fields or working in the house, cleaning Miss Ann's toilet. So please stop it. Please stop it. You know what I mean? So, all you women coming up, always trying to compare yourself to the white women. You ain't white. You know what I'm saying? The white women were home with the kids, housewives. Black women have never been housewives in this country. So please, let's just stop from there. So any woman that tries to make that excuse that, she's divorcing him because back in the day, this is the first time we ever had to work. Please, man, can we please start from truth and then move from there? You know what I'm saying? The only reason why she's divorcing this man is because he outlived his usefulness. She's getting the bag right now. She's up right now. So she's thinking, okay, you know what? Within the next 10 to 20 years, I might be 3 times as much as this guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I may be the one to have to give him half my resources. So now she's cutting him loose while she can. You know what I'm saying? And forcing him to pay for a baby that's not his. You know what I mean? Gentlemen, please, save yourself. It's over. Save yourself. You know what I mean? Work on yourself. Get your money. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're ready, fly overseas, North Africa, East Africa. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, you can get a Muslim woman that wants to be a wife, that's going to be 21, 22 years old, graduated from college, ready to go in Morocco, at any place in North Africa. You can go to Ethiopia. You can still go to West Africa. There are plenty of women that are still out there that are virgins, ready and willing to be wives.
We got to be careful though, because they can't get a Muslim woman unless they're willing to convert to Islam.
Hey, bro, to be honest with you, black people ain't really Christians anyway. Because you know what? In order to be a Christian, you have to be practicing. Most of these people are just saying they're Christian because they were born into it. Nobody, unless you're practicing, you're not really a Christian. So at the end of the day, go where you're treated best. You know what I'm saying? Focus on yourself, because at this point it's over. Because the only thing a black man is in this country is a check and a dick for these black women, and that's all I got to say.
You got to see it this way, right? This is the problem. The black man thinks with his penis. The black man does not vet a woman before he marries. He doesn't vet the family. The first thing you have to vet in a woman is her family. You got to vet her family to know which family she's coming from. Then you have to put the woman to test to see if she's going to be able to stand or buck under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to know the culture surrounding her. Because I got to tell you, the problem is too much. It's not something you can pinpoint. And another thing is this: our women have been so sexualized.
Yeah.
Look at television, look at radio, look at magazines. The black woman has been so sexualized. It's either she's being sexualized or she's sexualizing herself. That's the problem. And all these things come from peer pressure. She's getting pressure from so many places, and it's her fault, because not every woman that is black goes through that. So you cannot say that it's not her fault, because she chose her pill. She knew that there is blue pill and there is red pill, but she chose the blue pill. We have to keep doing what we're doing, building the black family, but understand that when a black woman gets to a certain age, she automatically thinks that everything that she can obtain it, knowing fully well is not possible. I gotta be honest with you. When you put a white woman and a black woman next to each other, a white woman lives in reality. She knows that biology is biology. She might try to look young, she might try to do plastic surgery to look young, but she knows her limits. And when it gets to that, she gives it up. But a black woman in America mostly does not believe she will ever age. And when she's aging, what she does is this: she snaps, she takes it out on her husband, she takes it on her family. And the one thing that bothers me is that most of them do not have shame at all. When you do these things that you do, you are going to break up your family, and your kids are going to totally don't like you anymore. That they're going to despise you, they're not going to want to deal with you. But I have come to understand that the average woman like that acts in that nature doesn't even give a damn about her own children because they have become so individualistic. Since magazine, Ebony magazine, Oprah started promoting individualization, right? Or individualism of black women, we lost them. They're gone. They're gone.
All right, my man Flex Henry. What you got on the topic, bro?
I think that I don't think anyone's mentioned this yet, but being equally yoked can take you a long way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of black men don't really consider that aspect. They used to be on the Housewives of Atlanta like years ago, and they never seemed like they were equally yoked. I think he was running for Housewives. Yeah, he was running for mayor or something like that. And I'm like, why would somebody that's running for mayor be with somebody like her? It never made sense to me. So I think that we need to do a better job. Like the gentleman just said below, you gotta vet your partner. You gotta know who you are. You gotta know what you can do, and you gotta vet the woman so you can know her mentality. You gotta look at her mother, look at the way that she was raised, all those things, because all those things factor into how she's gonna be in the future. I mean, she's not 100% of her mother, but a lot of those traits are gonna show up in her eventually. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. So you just got to be very careful of like who you decide to be with, who you mesh with. The girl that you decide to be with, are your weaknesses her strengths, and are your strengths her weaknesses? And if you guys can get together and balance that out, you can have a really good relationship. And I also encourage men, stay in the gym. You know, I always say it, stay in the gym, keep yourself in great shape, and you're not gonna have a lot of these problems. That's all I gotta say on it.
All right, so on the equally yoked part, I want people to understand because we don't talk about this much. Equally yoked has nothing like the least amount of thing. It has to do with money. When people hear that, for some reason they hear, oh, somebody, especially women, somebody that makes as much money as you do. That has nothing, almost nothing to do with it. When you talk about maybe ambition, and all ambition is evil, let me not even use the term ambition. Someone who is as purposeful as you are, someone who is as intentional as you are about raising children, about making sure you keep your family intact, that is someone who is more equally yoked to you. If you get with the woman or decide to even talk to her about marriage or even a committed relationship, and y'all have not talked about how you would like to raise children, you are wrong, bro. You are completely wrong. There is a woman, like literally, you need to look for a woman that'll say something to the effect of, I will die before I break up my family. Do you think that woman lives in America anymore? There are women that understand throughout life, you are supposed to live. You are supposed to be hypergamous. We get that. Pick the best man available to you. And once you get chosen, your hypergamy stops. The reason I have a problem with divorce, it's not necessarily people who have no kids. If y'all don't have any strings to each other and y'all got married, y'all realize y'all made a mistake, that's even more socially acceptable. It's when y'all have children involved and you're citing something like irreconcilable differences. Sorry, the children's life and their well-being and the way they need to grow up trumps all of that. Y'all are messing up out here. Real talk. Let me get a thumbs up, True Table. All right, go ahead, bro. What you got on it?
Mike, I think we're in sync, my brother. You say you cooking today, man. You cook most days, but you cooking today. But great topic so far. Shout out to the panel. What I wanted to add is kind of double down on what you said. I think you made a very valid point in reference to Black men getting outside of the country and experiencing what femininity really looks like. I often see, and even to the young man's point that was just made about the equally yoked, so this is not a total pushback. It's very hard to identify that if you come from dysfunction yourself. It's very hard to identify that if you don't really know the difference. The disparity, I believe, a lot of times, and I suffer with this talking to a lot of men in my community. They don't know what I'm talking about. It sounds foreign. It sounds euphoric when I say, this is how your woman should be treating you. They don't see that. They've never experienced it. Their mama's not even like that. They don't know nobody in a relationship like that. So I think that it's extremely imperative that we have to start to look outside of our community, not in a way that is divisive, but to observe and learn, and then maybe take from it the best parts of it, because most cultures, I believe, especially outside the United States, just do it better. Their societies are just structured different. That's what I wanted to add so far. So my mic is muted.
All right, let me get to this super chat. Advanced Perception, $2. You do not divorce into prosperity. Trigger Mike. Yes, I did say that, but we left one part out of the quote. You do not divorce into financial prosperity. You don't. It may seem like it. But, well, let's say most people do not divorce into financial prosperity. The average person goes broke because of divorce on both sides. So it's not advisable for anybody. Appreciate that, you remembering that quote. Let me get to some things that I read in the chat that I wanted to address. Let's see. My man Stephen Okonkwo says, Trigger Mike, is marriage repairable if the wife cheats? Let me explain this to people because I thought about this in detail. Most people, the reason why people always think a man cheats is because women talk too much. That's it. Women talk too much. They want the whole world to know they've been hurt. I just found out last October that a friend I've had for 13 years got cheated on. And that was a major, and he still didn't leave until she divorced him. I was like, what? You lying? Yeah, bro, she did it. And then she did it again. But because he had children, he didn't leave. My ultimate point is when a man gets cheated on, see, there's data out now, and you have to believe this because women have greater access to sex. A woman can walk outside and say, I'm trying to hump something, don't tell nobody, and dudes are going to be all over it. Right? So you have to believe that when they say women cheat more, it is the truth. So that means that married men are getting cheated on and staying with women. Now, my ultimate point on this is a man, no matter what type of fit he throws, is ultimately going to say if he has children, am I going to hold her mistakes against my children? Every thinking and feeling man that fancies himself a good man is going to default to no. I'm not saying the marriage is going to look the same. I'm not saying that. But men are logical. It is not logical to leave a woman and destroy your family structure because of a woman's mistakes. I have to say that men don't leave. We know this is the stat. Men don't leave relationships. So we have to include that men don't leave relationships even if they're cheated on. Now, here's the reason why I believe that point stands. A man has to achieve perceived dominance in his household. As a self-proclaimed, or really as a proclaimed alpha male, it's not really about what happens to you. It's the perception that people have of you in the public. If nobody knows that happened to me, then it's a chance it can be repaired. That's really the end all be all. If you don't disrupt the perceived dominance I have over my household, then I believe it can be repaired. I don't know though. I don't know if everybody knows. I don't know what a man would do. That's pretty embarrassing.
Well,
I don't have
repaired
an
is
answer.
a hard. Is a relative word, right? You might stay, but is your marriage really repaired? I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not going to look the same.
even if you after a while you say, she was stroking before I met her, and I can get over it. But do you really look at her the same after, especially somebody you dedicated everything to? Even if you do stay, I don't think it will ever be the same. But I agree with you about everything else because men do a financial calculation and a child calculation when the wife cheats. Women don't have no such calculation. They
I
don't
have
have no such. Yeah, there's nothing else. So we're calculated. And I think if men were able to leave a cheating wife without financial disrepair and be able to have access to their kids, I think they would leave in droves.
So
mo- most men that have been cheated on that I know of, that have been cheated on by their wives, never recovered from that relationship, even though if they stayed. Because I
yep,
would tell you that most men that I know stayed in that relationship, they never left, but they never had sex with their wife anymore,
yep.
and
I believe.
they never dealt with her. That is why you can come to some families, especially Nigerian family. They will tell you that the man and the woman live in separate house in the same house.
Yep.
Is because the woman has been violated. And because she's been violated, he will never have sex with her anymore. But he's not going to leave the house.
I've
And
seen that.
what? Yeah, and she will be she will be devastated. She know, and some of them, because one thing about the difference between men and women is that when men do something bad, they tend to either do it differently or be men and keep doing it. But when women do something bad, they freak out. They want you to accept them and accept the apology. And if you don't accept it, they start making mistakes from down on. They never
What's
recover
going
from
on,
it again.
y'all?
Hey, what's going
What
on?
up, bro?
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I can. Yeah.
Damn, what's going on with this?
You just interrupted people. Go ahead, Ikene.
Yeah, so that's the thing about it. So they will be devastated. The women will not know how to go and repair what they messed up, because number one is that most women don't know how to apologize. They don't know how to calm down and say I'm sorry. And when they say I'm sorry, they expect you to forgive them the way a woman will forgive a man. But the difference is that a woman, somebody goes into her, a man goes into a woman. So infidelity between a man and a woman is not the same, because the man damages somebody else, but the woman is damaged.
Oh
So
yeah.
that is, yeah. So that is why when women say that, okay, but he cheated, it's not the same. Even women with reasonable mind would tell other women that when a man cheats is different from when a woman cheats. Because when a man cheats, he breaks a woman's heart. But when a woman cheats, she destroys the entire family.
Deep. All right, Trucker Yell.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
All right.
So I came to shed some light on a lot of these females that's in the chat and all over the world.
Shed some light.
Yeah. So
I'm up.
if you are a woman who has a backup plan, you already cheated.
Ooh.
You already cheated even before you got married. So don't get in these marriages and try to play innocent. You know good goddamn well you already cheated. So that's all I really wanted to come up here and say.
Let's go around on that one. Let's go around on that one. What percentage of women do you think have mentally, at least, have a backup plan? Let me give you a story real quick. I think y'all heard me tell this one before. So somebody I know moved, and they were actually each other's first. So, he was her first, and they were together in college. They got married, At the time, they had 4 kids. 4 kids. She just ups and leaves, and he's actually doing everything where he's like, I don't know what I did, but now I wanted to keep this to myself, and I need help. Somebody help me. Let me know what I need to do. Naturally, the community said therapy. Go to therapy with your wife because he's down to fix it. He got 4 kids. This is the woman he's gonna be with the rest of his life. This lady basically made her mind up to say no. I just want out. It's irreparable. I'm bored. That these are the things that she's saying, telling my wife and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just not doing it for me anymore. I'm not happy. Now, mind you, this dude works for J.P. Morgan Chase. He's paid high 6-figure, multiple 6-figure guy. So he's saying, what can I do? Nothing. She leaves. He gets remarried. Within 2 years, he's remarried. Now she's singing a different tune. Because she had a backup plan the whole time. I want new. I think Mr. Rich says I want to ride a new carousel. But naturally, women, if you know that you're gonna go out there and do that, that man is gonna eventually discard you. He's gonna discard you, and now you're gonna have to watch another woman whom he married take care of your kids, and now she's pissed.
Yep, that's why I think Trigger Mike. That's why I honestly think that is why 80 to 90% of these women are getting divorces, because it ain't just finances. They already got a backup plan.
Exactly, but so my ultimate point is that backup plan fails. It has like a 99.9% failure rate.
It's like what's that movie? Thinking Like a Man, that 80-20 rule. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like with the dude and he thought that he was gonna get better with this chick, but then come to find out he had the 80, so then he started regretting shit after he got cancer and shit like that. It's the same way for females. The same dude that was taking care of y'all, guess what? Y'all shit on that man, and then when he get married or he find a solid individual, because he ain't making the same mistake after that first one. Now, since you're not really out here thriving, and the pool boy that you left this dude for, he ain't really doing shit for you besides cleaning your toilets. Now you starting to have regrets. So it's too late for that shit.
Yep.
Now you 45, 50 years old out here talking about I'm living my best life, knowing damn well all you really doing is looking at the wing of the plane. So, yeah. I mean, truth is truth. Truth is truth. Y'all, a lot of y'all women know, even your auntie, your nieces, when they sitting there complaining and how they man ain't doing this, y'all just had a discussion about a dude that she could be with, and y'all having that little girl talk, especially at the hair salon.
Let me get y'all opinion on this. What penalty should women get for falsely accusing a man of assault? This goes to that Jonathan Majors thing we were talking about. We'll start with Truth Table. What penalty should women get for falsely accusing a man of assault?
3 to 5 years.
Let me get a thumbs up, passport bro, in the back.
3 to 5 years. Minimum 3 to 5. 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. Wait, because the severity level. Should they go to gym pop or camp?
See now you're trying to soften the blow. No, we need to threaten them with the highest level of punishment. Now, maybe for good behavior, we can put them down to gym pop, but 3 to 5 years.
Hell no,
no camps.
I don't even think for good behavior, because you gotta think about that. That dude that's gonna go to jail for an assault like that, and he served 6 to 9 years over some petty stupid shit. Even for child support, then come to find out the child ain't his, or the allegation ain't real, and then all they do is walk off scot free. It don't make any sense. Like, yo, if you accuse this man, whatever time that man they was considering locking that dude up for, that's what you should get. Hard time. Because they don't even realize, even when you go to prison, yo, it still has an effect on you. Like, you could have been the nicest guy in the world, but now you get out of prison and you in survival mode at all times. You done seen some shit that you should never seen.
Facts.
So it has or you get raped in prison, because the shit does happen too. All because of a false allegation.
Let's be honest. Most guys that assault their wife or accused of assault, either they never go to jail for the first instinct, or they go to jail because they're not first offender. That's not the first time they offended, or maybe they have history of offense. But secondly, if a woman have a continuous accusation of not being truthful, she should be going to jail for equal amount as the man, because there has to be deterrence.
Yep.
There has to be deterrence.
It's got to be on the first instance. I forget about this continual bullshit. The very first time you lie on a guy, destroy his credibility, destroy his ability to earn, your ass should be going down. And men don't charge up for the DAs or the prosecutors. We allow, I haven't heard one man say, you know what, I'm not accepting a prosecutor not willing to bring charges and make that shit public. What the hell? Why are we letting them go by?
I agree with you. You remember the first time that I spoke on this channel? One thing that I said when the very first time I spoke on this channel is that men don't talk.
That's
men
right.
Don't talk. If a man, Trucker was saying earlier, he was saying that something about women. I forgot what he said, but he was saying something that has to do with women doing something that destroyed men's life. And if you look at it, we don't vote as we're supposed to. We don't vote for people that represent our interest. If black men should start coming tomorrow and start voting for their interests and not listen to what our wives are telling us at home, that Democrats are the best people, Democrats, this, Republicans, that, vote for the guy that says, I'm going to end child support only when it applies to the child. I'm going to terminate alimony, because every goddamn human being that have two legs, that have two hands, should be working their ass off. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. When we start doing that and we start confronting judges by unelecting them, unseating them from office during the next election, guess what? They're going to listen. But the fact that the women are the ones that are going to go vote early and vote on an election day and come united to vote for one candidate, guess what? I'm going to protect my electorate because they are my voters.
Well, let me throw this out at you, Kine. Listen, our shit is not even getting on the planks. The stuff we want is not even getting on the planks on either side. So we even have to go a step behind there and find candidates who will be willing to champion the shit that we need. So they have to be popular, but they have to champion the things that men need to put real reform in. And we don't even get an opportunity to vote for the best candidate because both sides ain't saying shit that will make our lives better.
So yeah, let's be honest. Payne is absolutely right, because you got to really think about this. They know that if they was to be honest, that they not gonna get the vote at all, because majority of these women is not gonna agree with it. You already saw how they reacted with the Roe versus Wade shit, and they had to keep that on a DL until the last second. You know what I'm saying? So
the reason why they put it on the DL on the last second is because when you go to primary elections, right? On a primary election and you have all those town hall meetings, who is sitting in the front seat? The activists for gay stuff, for homosexual stuff, for child support enhancement, for alimony enhancement, for feminism, for anything that has to be profitable to women. Those are the ones yelling, those are the ones shouting, but they are the minority. And we that have to get this from men going on, we're not even at the town hall meeting. We don't even vote for primary elections. Primary election is what decides who is going to go to the general. Without primary election, so who you get for primaries, who goes to the general. So if we're going to be only voting for general elections, guess what? The activists already choose who is going to run for office.
But let's get back to the point here. You know what you need, Mike, on this question? We need some women up here that say, because it's easy for us to say the chicks who lie on men should get thrown under the jail. But it's really important what women think on this one. Because, not the only reason why, because we all are like in the echo chamber. I think we should throw the chicks under the jail.
We can pose the question. The link is dropped for anybody that wants to come up. And if you were already up here, and I don't know if StreamYard is doing something crazy, but y'all are like mysteriously dropping out the back. That's StreamYard. That's not me dropping you. So please feel free to come back up.
They can send a super chat if they don't want to come
They
up.
targeting specific black people, Trigger Mike. That's all it is.
Say that again?
They triggering specific black folks.
What, StreamYard?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking around.
I was like, damn, that's pretty But if any women want to come up, and I don't pick people come up on the panel at will. So I don't pick people somebody in the chat like stop picking men all the time. Women are more than, in fact, we have more women come on this panel than most panels, if you want to be honest, because
you ain't lying.
We're not yelling at them. I've seen, at least 10 different women come on this panel. There are very few that will feel comfortable, unless they're terrorists, to come up on other panels. You know what I mean?
Oh, if you coming up here with some bullshit, I'm coming at your head. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Oh, we know. Passport bro, Mr. Charles, what's going on? What you got on the topic, sir?
Well, I was listening to where Truckee L was saying about women having backup plans. Speaking from experience, normally the guy that she tells you not to worry about, normally that guy is like, right there, for he's the runner up, or however you would say it. So because that happened to me, the best friend or the guy friend, or you don't need to worry about him. Because I'm thinking that, okay, since we're hunching, I think that, okay, yeah, I guess I got the number one spot. But as soon as she gets upset, or through one of the on and off breakups, there was one guy, he waited almost 5 years, and he eventually got it. But to answer the topic, I feel that women who falsely accuse men, they should serve. I wish men could pass legislation so women can understand that there is damn near almost a mandatory penalty if you are going to go through this route with accusing a guy of a serious crime. You almost every high caliber rich male athlete, actor, a lot of them been accused, and most of the time it just happened to one boxer. His girl or baby mother made a whole declaration about abuse, and the next day I was upset. I didn't really do nothing. Blah blah blah. Everything we washed away, and then Jonathan Majors, same. I'm pretty sure almost the same thing happened. She recants her story. Nothing's gonna happen to her, and then the cycle goes on and on. And then Michael Irvin, the cycle goes on and on and on. And the women, nothing happens to them. So that's why I wish that they could have some kind of legislation to where something like this, you're going to have to pay for it, and there's no more crying wolf.
I gotta be honest with you guys.
They don't even need legislation. They have the laws on the books already. The DAs or whoever they are, the prosecutors just don't want to prosecute.
They don't want to do. It's almost like radioactive. So that's the funny thing.
We don't even have to change laws for this one.
So we looking at it now. I don't know if you heard the monologue. I said everybody reported the accusation. The lawyer stated that the witness or the accuser recanted in writing, and nobody wants to report on that part. Nobody. So it's basically saying that they have no problem throwing men under the bus. The DAs feel like anything dealing with men and accusations is radioactive because then it blows back on them if any more evidence comes out. So literally, we're creating a world where men are basically just going to blow this shit up, and you kind of see that. You kind of see it to where women can only do so much. Like we said, they don't have any power. You go ahead and exercise the power you want to. You create an incel culture, which these men are not docile by nature. They're going to lash out in a way, and it's not going to be healthy, right? So you're going to see them pushing back, and all this stuff that's happening is just going to keep on happening. Danielle, I see you in the back. Let me get a thumbs up.
Hey, Mike, you know what's so funny though? There's a tremendous amount of simps. You know, if there was like some kind of men kind of trying to take the power back, they would have an army of male simps on their side. There's just no doubt about it. It'll probably be as much or more than men who want to take their rightful place back. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of simps. I mean,
I gotta tell you guys a story. What happened to me last year? I was at a Marriott hotel last year, Marriott, downtown Dallas, Sheraton. So I had a business that I went to do up there, and me and one other guy started arguing with each other. And then this other girl, a black girl, about 4'11", steps into the argument. And the guy was trying to initiate fight between me and him. And I wasn't going to fight no matter what, because I'm not going to go that low. So the girl steps into the fight, into the argument, and trying to block both of us. What I did was that I reached out to her arm and then pulled her back and said, hey, do you want to kill yourself? And everything ended. I went to my car, about to move, and the security guy approached me and said, hey, can you just hold on for a minute? I said, why? He said, because we have police officer coming. They said that you assaulted somebody. I'm like, who did I assault? They said you assaulted a female manager. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Somebody that I was trying to save her life accused me of assaulting her. I'm telling you for real. Police officer came and they were talking to me, and then the white guy over there was trying to see if he can put me in handcuffs, and the Hispanic guy was like, hell no, you can't, because this guy didn't do anything wrong. That's the two police officers started arguing with each other. But the Hispanic guy is a more senior officer. So he shot the white guy down. Guess what happened? The case went to in Dallas. So the city of Dallas sent me a mail telling me to pay a fine, because they gave me a fine for contact. They call it assault contact. I was like, I'm not paying that fine. I'm going to court. So we got to court. On the court date, she never showed up. Sheraton never showed up. Nobody showed up. And the city of Dallas looked at the tape and they said, you know what, you didn't do anything wrong. And they dismissed it. And I said it wasn't going to end there. What I was trying to do was to go further and sue Marriott and sue the whole people. But then I remember that the discount that I had, right, to get the Marriott discount belongs to my friend that works at Marriott.
I want to see y'all ass, but I got the hookup, so I'm a chill.
That's
that
exactly
ain't
what
the blackest thing I have ever heard in my life. That is the blackest thing I have ever heard.
I tell you, man, I pulled back because of that. I was going to sue their ass, but I didn't want to get him fired.
Y'all lucky y'all to plug. This is the blackest thing I've ever heard in my life. Y'all lucky y'all to plug, or I'll sue the shit out of you. I would. All right, Danielle, do you want to answer the question? You got anything on the topic in general?
Yes. Yeah. I think that a woman should get at least the amount of time that the man would have gotten at the, having gone to court and he was sentenced. So whatever that is, which is probably going to be high, but you're a man, whatever that is, that should be it's at least that. So if that's 15 years, sayonara, man. You should tell the truth. I just think it's an issue where it's like we have all this freedom as women, and you want to take advantage of somebody. That makes no sense to me. Why do you want to put yourself in these situations? Why do you want people to see you in court sitting on a stand? Why do you want that kind of attention? It's like, is really all attention good to women? That's crazy to me. Like I'm a part of so I used to be Christian. So I'm a part of a like Christian group from my old church, which is very conservative, by the way. And I'm still in the Facebook chat with them because I love Jesus. So and if you're Muslim, you have to love Jesus, and then you won't be Muslim. But there's a woman in my group. She just likes to talk about her business all the time, and it just makes me and my husband crazy because it's like information that's unnecessary. So today, she said there was another person in the group that says, "Would you guys like information on adoption and foster parenting and all that good stuff?" So she goes, that's what's so interesting is we used to we started the process, but we got denied because of my husband's past, and we're all looking at each other like, okay, was that necessary? Why would that be something that you say about your husband? It just doesn't make any sense. And I believe that she is so hungry for it, and she's beautiful, beautiful white woman. I mean, gorgeous white woman. There is no reason for you to need all the attention. Absolutely
Hold
no
up.
reason at all.
You sure she's beautiful? Because beautiful in your
No,
eyes could be a number 3.
No, she is no. She is beautiful. She gets a lot of attention from all men, black, white. I've seen Hispanic men, and of course I'm Muslim, so she's Arab men have been around. She is gorgeous. She is very, very gorgeous. And I'm just like, I don't understand why she needs that much attention. And she's a nice lady. But it's like, why would you say that about your husband? That's your husband. I know that seems small, maybe to you guys, but
No,
y'all have no idea. This
no,
woman says
No,
it's
we
not.
get
all
exactly
because of
what
his
you're trying to
past.
say.
It's not small because
I don't understand that.
she was raised in a house where her mother was loud, her grandmother was loud, talkative. They talk a lot. So you can't change her. That's who she is. She saw that all over her. That's in the environment she grew up. So you can't change it. I'm sorry.
So imagine how she
It's
treats.
not
She could do that on the internet, right? If she could do that, right? Because I'm supposed to celebrate you as my wife, and you supposed to celebrate me as your husband. But if I'm constantly coming on the internet and disrespecting my wife, what does it look like when I'm not on the internet? I mean, for real. Let's be honest. If she's doing that on the internet, you already know that most likely, like he just said, that she's loud, her mama loud, her grandmother loud. She's calling this man bitches, the whole 9 yards,
mm,
and that's the truth.
unfortunate.
Sad but true.
And I
But
also
this is
wanted
the
to. I'm sorry.
this is the problem. If you're saying that she's disgracing her husband, that might not be true. Maybe her husband is the same thing. I've seen guys that have criminal record and they will come and say, "Hey, I have felony, I have this, I have that." Guys talk too much too. Maybe she and her husband they both talk too much because if she talks too much and her husband doesn't like it, he would have gotten rid of her ass.
No, 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 because there's a lot of dudes.
No, not at my church. Well, my old church.
There's a lot of dudes. Again,
These are, we were the only black couple in the church. These are conservative white, which I like, I'm conservative. Conservative white folks, like they ain't getting no divorce. These people are old. Well, there's a lot of older people in the church where it's, the young middle age, and then it's younger men and women. They don't get divorced. That's a complete no. So I'm sorry with that. These particular people, I disagree. Now, other people, yes, people get divorces all the time, but these particular folks, so she gonna ring him out. Her lifestyle is, I love her lifestyle. We all love her lifestyle. She is not letting that go.
Nice. All right. So I want to play. Let me see if I got it queued up. This is a toss up topic here. I got it queued up because I just saw it yesterday and it made me laugh. Y'all know Chili from TLC is dating that white boy from one of the Lawrence brothers.
Yeah. The young one.
Yeah. And I have this thing where, listen, I don't know if black women agree with this or not, but we don't really care. I mean, we don't care if y'all date out. We don't care. I don't know how many ways we can say it. You might get a dude that fake care. He might, jumper. We don't care, especially as men. Men that can get women, come on, like we don't care. But the one thing I understand, it's weird because black people are so far off of the spectrum from whites. It's like we're complete opposites in a way, as far as hair texture, the way we talk, the things we are interested in, we are night and day. So when some black women get with a white guy, I always think these women are more susceptible to cheat, because I feel like eventually when you get in a room and there are black men around, it makes your dude feel inferior. Like, we can see it. And watching this video, I feel like Chili is cheating with a black dude, and she's just using this time with this guy to show the world. Let me show the video to y'all real quick. Y'all watch this shit.
Now, if that was three black guys in that cha-cha, would that be masculine or not masculine?
Listen. Look. I know she having fun. Let me not rain on her parade. And I know I'm gonna drop the link again because I know some of y'all got smoke. Like, no. I know what y'all are gonna say. I've heard it all before. She's having fun. She looks happy. Okay, exactly. Fantasy Island girl said she looked like she having fun. I knew it. Let me tell you know she gonna say something. Bring your ass on up here, or if you're working right now, let us know. Go ahead. But listen, every time I see something like that, where you're just chilling and living that type of life, I'm not convinced that's the life black women really want to live. That looks like a fun life. That looks like it's soft and that they have good manners and they out there. I think black women like toxicity, man.
Of course.
I feel like that.
I think wasn't it you or Kevin Samuels that said that you need a certain level of toxicity. It can't be 100% toxic, but not 100% nice. You need to have a ratio or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny when I see that. It's just like, is this the fun? Yes, I know you're having fun, but is this the type of fun you want to be having? That's my thing. And I don't
know, Mike. You giving her like some kind of out, man. The chicks, man, they might be perfectly happy getting a.
No, I'm not saying that they're not perfectly happy. I'm not saying that. But my question is, and the question I have for the people is, do you think Chili cheats with a black man?
Well, no, she could, but the point is, I just think that I had a point to it. Actually, it was halfway decent, and it shouldn't have went my head so easy. But listen. Yeah, she could cheat with a black man or a white man, but here's the thing that I think is most important. When a black woman gets with a white man, I think she gives up a piece of herself.
Yep.
More than when a black man gets with a white woman. I think that's a more pertinent conversation, right? Because again, the sexual energy between man and woman is different, right? So when a black sister gets with a white dude, she's taking all his sexual energy, and she has to give a piece of her blackness up to be with this fucking guy. And she just does. I don't think it's the same for black men. I really don't think so. So I think that's a better conversation, whether she's cheating with a black man or not. She might not even be cheating with nobody, right? She might be perfectly happy with a white man, and that's it. Isn't Chili mixed anyway? So.
But I think
I'm about to get some flashbacks of what I'm about to say.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. Go
ahead. So I ain't saying this. A fantasy girl, don't get upset, okay? I don't need you coming up here getting upset with me. I ain't talking about you. I'm just saying in general. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Most of these black girls that tend to go to the wide side, they leftovers.
That's a point.
They leftovers. I mean,
let me get a thumbs up, Sean.
If you really, if you want to be honest,
Now there's some women that just date white just to be dating white. That's all right with me. But the ones that always tend to go over there and then shit on the black man, right? It amazes me how you will compete for you are willing to compete for the same white dude that you can find with a black man. Everything that white man is, you had that black man, and you don't even compete or you won't even fight for that black man. But you quick as hell to fight for that white man. And another thing too, most of you motherfuckers get into relationships like that, y'all just want light skinned babies. That's all.
That's a topic right there.
Yeah, so there's a couple of offshoot topics there.
That's a spinoff.
Let's just keep all those 100.
I was about to say,
you motherfuckers.
Sean, I see you in the back. Can I get a thumbs up? So I know.
See, I know y'all secrets, ladies. I know y'all secrets.
Yeah, they want the baby with the good hair.
Yeah.
I know the colorism shit that y'all. It's the colorism shit usually comes from the women. So if so the chocolate women, salute to the chocolate women. I love y'all. But most of y'all that get into these white relationships, y'all just want a light skinned baby.
Yeah.
Sad, but true.
Hey, Fantasy Island girl says she agreed with you, but she not like that. Say everybody but her.
Of course.
I salute you, Fantasy Girl. Like I told you, I salute you, Fantasy Girl, because you're trying to be the best wife for your husband. So I definitely salute you on that. Unfortunately, a lot of black women ain't trying to do that.
I mean, looking at that video, what else? Who else got something on it, man? I'm sorry. If she's a bit older, because Chili's 52, she like 9 years older than this dude.
Chili can't get no goddamn black man.
She could be at the point where she's genuinely happy, because I'm on the fence. I'm not even.
She ain't genuinely happy. You know damn well she ain't genuinely happy.
Yeah, hold on, Chris.
She can still dance though. I've seen some videos. She could still move.
But you took an L though.
But you see what Mr. Rich said playing out. I feel like they are giving up a piece of themselves. When you see how women act when they're in happy black marriages, it's not even the same. I'm not talking about the video or anything. It's almost as if the things that we're doing are different. They laugh different. Their exuberance, the way the blood fills their cheeks is different. And when they get with somebody else of a different race, they're settling. Because think about it. I can't imagine not being able to talk about what I want to talk about because I got a white partner. I got a white woman.
So Trigger Mike, I got a question for you.
We can't even talk about because they don't understand. That would probably hurt my feelings a little bit. What do you?
So I got a question for you, Trigger Mike.
Yeah.
Do you think they give the same high ass standard list that Chili had for black men? Do you think she gave that to that white man?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Exactly. That's what you normally see with black women with white men. They don't have no high ass fucking 5-page book for any other race. But when it comes to the black man, you gotta roll that motherfucker like it's a goddamn red carpet.
Like
and you gotta go down that list. Like it's insane. That's why Chili is fucking.
No, I gotta tell you guys something. something.
Let me get a thumbs up in the back. I see you in the back. Just let me get a thumbs up so I bring you up.
Yeah, but Chili took an L though. That's why I don't understand, because how you go from superstar status of Usher all the way down to baby white zaddy, doing the cha-cha slide.
Have you ever heard her list?
So I'm not even gonna hold that. I'm not even gonna hold that against her. Usher wasn't. For some reason, if you'll notice, she loves a good age discrepancy. I don't know.
Yeah, she likes young. She definitely likes young.
Yeah. She likes it young because she's very controlling. You see what I'm saying? Women that usually date younger boys date them because they don't want to be told what to do by men older than them.
Son husband.
Yeah, they will do with son husband because they want to be in charge. They want to be the one running the whole game. They want to be the one running everything. That's why they want younger men. But the thing about it is that Most black men, I gotta tell you, operate in their femininity because of parental. That's number one. Number two, if you look at girls, this is how women operate. If you put a woman in her place, if you put a woman in her place and keep putting her in her place, she will remain faithful to you. She will be scared of you. She will respect you. She will remain faithful to you to the day she dies. If you see most marriages that women tend to stay forever, even celebrities, and never divorce, is because the man operates in his masculinity. But if you let her get away with stuff, there will come a time she will start thinking that, you know what, he's not man enough for me. And another thing that men do, just like yesterday's discussion, is simping. Simping is very dangerous. If you get in, before you get into a relationship with a woman, you have to lay down the rules. Tell her the do's and the don'ts, because that's the only way you can strike her out. If you think, oh, I'm not going to tell her because I don't want to lose her, you will lose her. But if you lay down the rules and tell her that she must follow that rules that you're not going to bend, she will follow that rules. But she's going to try every boundary of those rules every day. And you keep pushing her back behind those boundaries, she will stay in that boundary because she knows she's protected. And you're a man of your words, because just like Trigger Mike knows, when you point that gun, you better pull that trigger.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. When you deal with a woman, you got to put her in her place, because if you don't put her in her place, brother, you're going to lose her. That's why irreconcilable differences comes to play, because guess what? You weren't putting down rules before you guys got together. But when you guys got together, you start making rules. But now she want to go to the way things used to be when you guys got together, and you don't want to go back to how things were. And she wants it the way it was because that's what you gave her. But you don't want her to go back. And guys, guess what it is? Irreconcilable differences. That's exactly what it is.
Hey, that's kind of fire, because I don't, if there's anything that the men need today, it's masculinity coaching, and it's a war that's going to be fought on multiple fronts. Once men actually start understanding what they want out of a woman, they will stop choosing women for the wrong reasons. That's first off. Setting rules in the beginning and giving women not necessarily an ultimatum, but the choice. This train is moving. These are the rules to hop on this train. I'm moving without you. Women respect that. Forget what they're talking about. They respect that outright. These are my rules. Like, literally, I'm trying to keep my family together. We're not breaking up for anything. Are you down with that? I only need a woman that can handle these type of directives. The issue is that women think they can negotiate everything. If you think, like, there is no negotiation here. There's no negotiating about who's in charge. And the worst part about it, I don't give a damn how much money you make. I love educated women. Okay? I love women that's equally intelligent as me. So it may be, no matter, through the course of most marriages, I know two educated people where it fluctuates who makes more money. But don't ever get it twisted about who's in charge, who makes the final decision on this family. Women respect men that talk like that.
Trigger Mike.
I have a aunt that was a doctor, and her husband, before she became a doctor, was a cab driver. She ain't never disrespect this man a day in his life. And he's the millionaire now. All right? She knew exactly who she was getting with. This dude is a leader of a family. He put on for this family and did whatever he had to do to sustain us while I got my doctorate. Right? And then he became an international shipping, guru.
I gotta say this. I gotta put this real quick. Guys, you guys have to understand this. When a woman threatens you that she's gonna leave, tell her to get the fuck out.
Yep.
And let her know this.
Thank you.
And this is what you should tell her. Tell her that once you get out of this house, the next one is coming in.
Yep.
I told my wife that she kept quiet for 2 days. You let her know that when you get the fuck out, the next one is coming in because I'm not going to waste my time with any woman, man. When you leave this house, another one is coming in because that sends a chill through their bones. And I got to tell you, when she get out, you better be bringing another one in right away.
It's true.
Because the next week she will come back crawling through those glasses, begging you that she want to be back. You better pull that. Well, you better pull that trigger when you point that gun.
Yep.
If she threatens you, pull the trigger.
So see, that's the thing I miss about the older generation of the. We was just talking about this last night. Shit, I don't know if you was listening last night on Angry Man Show. We were describing how the men back then. One of the reasons why women didn't fuck up for real is because the men didn't give a fuck. They was not afraid to lose their wife. It was like, yo, all right, oh, you ain't gonna leave? All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out and bounce.
If you have a long marriage, there's always at least one or two instances where that shit happens. I know with me and my wife, it wasn't like I was gonna leave, but it was a circumstance where I told her, I said, if you don't shut, I mean, I must have dropped like 100 F-bombs in like 5 minutes. I told her, if you don't, do what I tell you do in this matter, just get out of my face. She didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. But she was still there, because and sometimes you just have to win as a man, and sometimes you just have to win no matter what, because the opposite will mess up your family.
I gotta tell you this,
let me say this to what Mr. Rich is saying, because fellas, you got to understand that it's not even about having to win. You may not even win. The one thing you always have to do as a man, and this is something I was taught personally, demonstrate your resolve. There needs to be no question at all about how rigid you are. That is what women are dealing with. Women are dealing with men that are willing to negotiate. Say, put their foot down, but then move the position of their foot. When my foot goes down, that's it. That's it. Deal with it accordingly. But go out to talk to your friends, and when they say, well, maybe he'll change, she need to be like, no, that nigga won't budge. You don't know my husband. He's not budging. You see, that's the way
that's what I'm saying.
Talk. When I hear women talk that got real men at home, they talk like, oh, no, you don't know my husband. He's not moving. So what should I do? Because he's not moving. He's not moving.
But that's what I was talking about when I said the men back then is not afraid to lose their wife. Is that right there when you hear, oh, what am I supposed to do? Oh, well, he'll do this, that, and the third. Oh, no, you don't know. You don't know him. It's either his way or no way. That's it.
When my wife was my girlfriend, right? She pissed me off so much. That I took her things and threw her out of the house and told her, you know what? Because she first threatened she was going to leave. I said, you know what? Get the fuck out. I threw her things out. Even when we got married, she told me, you always threaten the roof over my head. I said, no, I didn't threaten the roof over your head. You said you were going to leave. Then I showed you the door. That's it.
Hey, so is your wife around you right now?
Oh, she went to California. But guess what? I'm sorry. She knows what I can do, because you know what? I pull the trigger. I don't negotiate.
Yeah.
I don't negotiate.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah, I think that's where I messed up. I think that's where I messed up, because I was the negotiator. I put my foot down, but then I'll move it, and I'll like, okay, let's compromise. I think I pretty much did that. I know.
You was a full-fledged feminist.
I'm here now. I'm here now, knowing I made a mistake.
I was gonna say that's real though, bro. Thank you for sharing. Because dudes need to understand that we need all the stories, not just the success stories, and we even need Mr. Ikene's story to say, hey, she left. Like literally, women get a choice. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, demonstrate your resolve. You need to be as solid as a brick house. Let me try to use a metaphor for this. What men represent to the family is a foundation. The same way you lay a foundation in a home, you lay a foundation in a family. Can you build a house, a sturdy house, on a broken foundation? You cannot. You can't build a house on a broken foundation. You need to be an immovable brick, an immovable piece of stone. A woman needs to know exactly what she's getting when she gets with you, and needs to be able to like predict your movements. So before she cross you, she gonna be like, this is how he gonna react. Anything. So I'm very, I'm very amicable. Like, me and my wife joke a lot. We play a lot, but not about certain things. Anything in the name of the family and the children, she already know my answer. How's it gonna affect the children's future? She know my answer. Don't come to me on no bullshit about the kids or our collective future. You know my answer. You see what I'm saying? So, Sean Bolden, how you doing?
But the thing is this in life, right? You guys, men have to know this. Know when to play with your wife and when to be serious.
Indeed.
You can't be stone cold in the house all the time, because guess what? Another man is going to play with your wife out there. You have to understand that, hey, baby, let's have fun. And 3 minutes into that fun, if she pisses you off or cross that bounds, you let her know, hell no, we're not crossing this bound, man. And you straighten her up and let's play again. She's going to be pissed. If she's pissed, goodbye. Let's start this tomorrow. You cannot use because you want to please a woman for the moment and then put your credibility or your manhood on the line. No, you don't. Your woman is not your friend. She's your wife or your girlfriend. There are boundaries, and you have to create those boundaries.
Yeah, you're right. I blame the 90s music. I blame the 90s music for conditioning me to be that soft and
blame your mama on that one.
Hey, he's
blame your mama.
He was listening to it.
He is not
Be
playing.
honest.
The 90s music is the worst because everybody say it's the 70s. We had music videos in 90s. So you didn't just have a video, you had the audio too. Okay, so you would get double indoctrinated in the 90s. I mean, crying in the rain, doing the hands.
Yep.
All of that type of stuff.
Crying in the rain, doing the hands.
Doing the hands. Talking about
the Usher video.
On bended knee. Look, this is us in front of the TV. Indoctrination every day. But this is a terrible
talking
example.
about the Usher video.
This is a terrible example, okay? But even if we look at war times, the way the United States military knows to take a threat seriously, they take a threat seriously once they've demonstrated their resolve. When the Taliban takes somebody prisoner, whether it's somebody of interest to us from over there, what do? They make a video and they do what? They slaughter that person. Mm-hmm. If you need to know that person is serious, and it's a terrible example, that's not what I'm telling anybody to do, but those people are demonstrating their resolve to our people, letting you know I'm serious. You better take me serious because this is where I'm at on it. That I'm not saying men need to go out and slaughter people, but metaphorically, that is how you need to demonstrate your resolve in your home. You need to be that rigid, that ruthless, to say before a woman even cross you, she knows what you're capable of. I'm just
if you
well, a lot of men don't even. Oh, right.
If you point the gun, you pull the trigger. That's it.
If you ever had any gun training, that is exactly what they tell you. You don't pull a gun if you don't plan to pull the trigger.
Yeah,
that's the first step in your training to get any license for a gun. So I guess get to the analogy that we're speaking of, to get a license to marry. If you're going to speak a word, keep it.
You talking about being a man of your word, right?
So trigger
man of your word.
Yeah, that's what it means. It means you got to be a man of your word, which means if you say what you're gonna do, you do what you say you're gonna do.
Right. So trigger Mike, in this modern era, right? Okay, let's just say that the non-traditional, let's just say black women, that's what we're talking about. Let's just say she's somewhere in the middle. She doesn't want to be non-traditional. She's not traditional, but she still wants to be married. Okay. What do you do in that circumstances? A man who is, who would settle for being traditional, but if you know you're marrying a non-traditional man, So
you want me to answer that?
Well, yeah, anybody.
Okay, this is what you do. Before a man gets married, there are 3 things that you have to lay down that the woman has to do for she to qualify to be married to you. The number 1 thing is this: can she respect you? That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, can she cook? Number three, can she please you? Which means, can she provide you with children? Because if she pleases you, that means she's going to have sex with you anytime and whenever you want it, except during the time that she's sick or in a time, right?
Let me hit you on that third one. Let me hit you on that third one before you go longer. How come not enough men tell the women they're going to marry that that's one of the conditions of our marriage?
They don't. They don't know. So well, no. Actually, Trucker Yale, I'm telling you right now is that men are doing the same thing women are doing. They're trying to materialize themselves, or they're trying to create what a functional marriage looks like without any guidance, right? All they hear is marriage. Do the right thing, bro. They do not seek any guidance from anybody that knows, because their parents didn't know. Their parents weren't married, right? So they're trying things out. Like, I see this in the military all the time. It's like, well, you know, I'm doing well now. I think she got. I'm gonna try to do the right thing by her. You know, okay, that's great. Who told you how to be married? Did you surround yourself with people to tell you what you want? Let me make this point, and I'll shut up. My wife doesn't even know why I chose her. I knew how to vet, and the worst part about it is that you know how Nigerian parents want you to marry a Nigerian woman. So I had to marry. If I was going to marry an American woman, she was going to have to be squared away. She was the eldest, just like I was the eldest. So I could already make certain. I already knew she had certain characteristics by the way she talked. She cooked for her whole family. She used to say stuff like that all the time. She cooked every single day. So I knew she could cook. And maybe within a few times of meeting her, she cooked for me. All right. But these are the things that I pieced together to say, this is a woman of service who is intentional about serving her family, because it's not always about me. I knew this is where most men go wrong. And I think Ikene talked about this. Once you have children, a man starts to become concerned about how the children are going to be served. It ain't even about me. Are you going to cook to serve your children? Because I'm not buying McDonald's every night. Why do you think these kids are fat as hell? Their mom ain't shit. Their mom don't cook. The whole family is unhealthy because you don't have these skills and you never prioritize being a woman of service in this way.
Hold on, Trigger Mike, man. What you got? Yo, I was the McDonald kid, nigga. What you trying to say?
What
you trying to say, Trigger Mike?
No comment.
What you trying to say, partner?
No comment.
Let me put it this way, guys. Let me put it this way. Trigger, you know, in Nigerian household, just like Trigger Mike said, right? You have to marry a Nigerian girl for your woman to be accepted into the family. But unfortunately for me, I married an African American woman. But do you know what I told her? I told her, are you going to be able to cook for me? She said yes. She said, but can we eat out something? I said, I don't eat out because I have a sensitive stomach. For you to be qualified to be my wife, you must cook. You have to cook, and you have to cook Nigerian food. She never cooked Nigerian food in her life. But guess what she did? She had to learn it.
Had to learn.
She learned, and she became really good. In fact, she outcooked many Nigerian women today. I'm telling you, she's African American. Okay. But I put her food down, and she had to learn it to be able to qualify to marry.
Okay, so can we address the elephant in the room? Can we address the elephant in the room? The elephant in the room is that we're speaking tradition, but we're speaking two different country traditions. Yeah. African tradition is not American tradition, and the definitive qualities that you speak of are necessary in American tradition, but are absent. So let's really be clear that
both. Well, they're not all absent.
Hold on. Hold on. We used to live off of them traditions. Right. The problem is that the boomer women, you know, the women I was teaching their daughters, you don't need no man, this, that, and the third. It became that. If you really look at our history from back then, the women were actually basically really supportive, submissive women who actually took care of their men for real. And they got the best men. Now, not saying that there wasn't no shitty ass dudes out there, because there was, but I would say 80% of them dudes that was married to a black woman had the best lives that you could think of.
I
You know what I'm saying?
don't dispute that, but here's my
Like they was highly respected and they wouldn't let no
here's
one.
my pushback to that. And you're right. The modern woman, as we say, but the modern man as well. Because guess what? Back then, if you got pregnant, they married you. That's the generation that we're missing. And if we're gonna lead and we're gonna continue to talk about the leadership that we want and the guidance we want to be able to provide, we got to be able to fall back on some of those traditions as well.
I'm gonna dispute.
Anike, let me say this, Sean. Okay, he said 3 things, right?
Yes.
Respect. Can a non-traditional woman can still respect a man, right? I mean, is that possible? I mean, that's true.
Very possible.
Nope. Unless you got money.
Wait. Let me finish. Let me finish the list. Cooking. Yeah, I mean, well, non-traditional women say they can cook. Some of them can't cook. Some of them can, but they don't want to cook every night. But the one thing a non-traditional woman can't tell me is they don't want to get drowned. They're getting their cheeks busted all the time. They better not tell me they don't want to give me no ass.
But she said she don't feel like it though.
Huh?
But she said she don't feel like it tonight.
No.
Do y'all really be having? Do y'all really be having women say?
Before y'all go, let's talk about the young guy today. Forget about the baby boomers and everybody else. I'm a man and I want to marry a woman of today, right? So how do you navigate these non-traditional women and get them to? Besides conversation, you need to have those conversations. Is it no matter what? Every marriage should have a prenup. Every marriage should have, I would say so, regardless of what your income is. I think every man, at the very least, you should have an alimony clause in there, depending on what state you're in, right? So it don't have to be a thick prenup, but it has to have something in there that protects you when this chick has a Tia Mowry moment, right?
That's why marriage is like a more of a big risk today than. I like the idea of marriage, but it's just looking like more and more is more of a big risk compared to going in carefree.
There's no doubt about it. So that's why you got to protect yourself.
How do you navigate through it? Don't get married.
or that.
Yeah, but you know what? Not getting married.
Hold on. There's still some great women. Hold up. There's still some great women out here. You just got to learn to cut these motherfucking females off left and right. That's what most men.
There's a downside for men not getting married too.
Some
men, not all, but some men. A lot of men.
Let me say it like
everybody can't be truth table.
I would actually say, it's dangerous for men to get married, considering the opportunity of women. And the worst part about it is that women leave good men. We need to understand that. It's not men that are not doing anything or men that have made mistakes. Women leave good men. So even if you marry a woman that is purposeful and intent on staying with you and doing the deed of raising children, all that, she can change her mind. That is the primary tendency of all women, to change their mind. And the difference between a traditional woman and a non-traditional woman is, and the worst part about it is, once we took God out the family, women start changing their mind a lot more. They used to stay grounded to the principles of religion and say, I'm not going to leave this man for the sake of family. My legacy is attached to this man. He's not done anything wrong, and I would rather repair this relationship 1,000 times than to start somewhere new. The issue that women are really experiencing is that is their primary tendency. But the reason I push marriage is because these women are still going to have children, and we're just going to continue to create a culture of degeneracy if we don't push marriage on them. If you don't have children, I don't have any smoke. You don't need to concern yourself with this. Go out and slay as many people as you want. Live a good life if you want to. But as soon as you have kids,
let me jump. Oh, I'm sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead, True Table.
No, what I wanted to add to it, hopefully, is that okay, I see this a lot. I think we're still blending what was and what is, and I think the young man talked about it. Marriage in a traditional sense, I don't believe is possible today. That's just my firm opinion. Mainly because what worked back in the day does not work now, and it's because the conditions are different. Society has very much changed. What I see a lot, and again, mainly in our community, no knock to the old heads, and that's no disrespect, they tell you very little information. I can remember a time growing up, a lot of things in our community is very parable based. Get married, that's it. They don't ever speak to develop self. They don't ever speak to grow as an optimal male. They don't ever speak to be the absolute best, because again, me being a single man out here, I can overwhelmingly tell you what women 9 times out of 10 talk about when they're dating someone like me and they're dating most dudes. Most dudes suck at communication. Most dudes' lifestyle has so many gaps in it that she is necessary for him to actually live a whole life. Most guys are not living their life balance. They don't have enough to entice women that being with you makes more sense than being single. Being single is enticing because your life sucks. So this is always going to go back to the men. Traditions is gone. Women now want to work. That's okay. They want to enjoy the amenities of travel and those things, and that's cool. Every woman is not going to be suited for this situation. I think that men have to be very, very aware of the social climate we're in, and also understand that you just being a man, just being a male, having a job, I'm sorry to say, that is not enough. You need to educate yourself on the world as it is. You need to develop your skills when it comes to verbal communication. You need to, immerse yourself, learn something, learn how to salsa dance, learn something different, because they want to experience relationships.
Well, you know what's crazy? Truth table.
That's not a bad dance.
You know what's funny? If that's the case, then why are they so traditional to every other race but black men?
Boom.
Who's that? Who's that?
Let's answer that question. I want to hear that, because let me say it one more time. If that is the case, then why are they so traditional to every other race but black men?
Truth table, let me answer that, please. Truth table, let me answer that. This is the answer to that.
I'll be right back.
Because the most softest man in America that can let a black woman get away with so much is the black man.
Yep.
A white man will not let her get away with anything, because even when they date us, Africa, I got to tell you, if a black guy, African American, is right here dealing with an African American woman, I will see that African American girl insult that African American guy. But if I go to her and tell her, sit down here and don't move, she will sit down there and never move. Because as an African guy, she knows what she's getting. As an African American guy, she knows what she's getting. So she gives what you give her. If you stand your ground and be that strong, just like an African man would do to her, she will be obedient to you. I'm telling you, because I've seen this many, many times. I can tell an African American woman, shut up. And she will shut up, and she'll be like, did you tell me to shut up? I say, yeah. Do you want me to say it again? And she will just shut up.
I need to see that,
but
man. I need to see it.
So you know what the normal black man normally gets?
But she will punch an African American man in the mouth or call police.
That's not true. That's not true entirely. That does exist. Wait. That does exist in certain type of people, but there will be some that will
I know.
That's true.
That's true.
So let's not dilute that, and say that is an entirety, because it's not.
It's not entire case. It's not entire case. It's not entire case.
But to your point, what happens is that we do not have often the reality or I'm sorry, the boundaries that you speak of as men, and I won't even identify them as African American versus American. As men, we don't always identify boundaries that give us the space to be respected. But in fairness to True's point, when it does exist, and it does exist, everything that you said, True, but there's still not cooperation, because there is value in different things that are not that are pointless. There's not value in character. There's value in finances. And that's
if I can answer to Trucker Hill's point, I think that what we're missing is that it's not about a black woman being with a white man or an Asian man. It's about the environment that she's in. us as a community
Wait, what? Wait,
understand.
wait, what?
Come on, bro. You got to be
No,
honest.
okay.
You got some of the
I'm gonna
most.
be honest.
You got. Come
If you
on,
let me
dog.
finish, yeah. If you let me finish, let me finish. I
Yeah,
have
let me finish.
watched.
I'm
I
trying to.
I have watched my community, the most gutter of the gutter, go into places like Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, Louis Vuitton, and that behavior changes
Yeah,
automatically. Not
yeah.
because they just grew, it's because the environments. But what I'm speaking to is that, see, you get from that woman what you show her you're about. Most of my brothers are halfway into where they came from and segueing into where they're trying to be. They're not already there to where it's so solid, you know.
Again, solid. What you're referring to leans a lot towards finances, and let's be clear. When I say character versus finance, I'm not speaking of just the woman. Men too believe that finance gives you character, and it doesn't.
No.
Money.
Hold on, wait. Let E-Man go. Let E-Man go.
Like, because y'all guys are so off. Like, I've never seen it. Like, this is horrible.
Amen. You got to tell us the truth, sir.
Listen, the one thing, heathens act like heathens. If they have no religion, if they don't have a religion background, or they don't have some type of background that's grounding them, I don't care if she's white, I don't care if she's Asian, I don't care if she's polka dot, she's gonna act that way.
Environment.
Because I let y'all talk. When y'all go all around the world and y'all say all these
continue.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
When you guys go all around the world and y'all say these women act traditional, they usually have a religious background. It's something grinding them to act those ways, to have these moral codes. So this idea that it got something to do with color is completely crazy. And the reason we can't say that it got anything to do with finances is because Mexicans go out to Home Depot and work, and they women submit to them, and they ain't got no money.
Thank you.
That's what all of them believe in. They believe in Jesus. They believe in Christ, and they believe that they have some obligation outside of them. Anytime they're self-centered and it's all about them, I'm telling you straight up, they ain't gonna follow nothing because they think their way is right.
My brother, but where do you believe? Okay, I'm not disagreeing with your point. I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. Where do you think that is echoed in the development of the man? The man has to showcase those things, religion or not. There has to be some level of structure, character, consistency. That's going to derive from something he was taught, whether that's religion, culture. She's going to go ahead.
Don't they meet these dudes in their early 20s that you're talking about? The men with character and all that.
But it doesn't matter.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. What I constantly see is that men want to find a very little amount of what needs to be present in order to engage with women. So money is a tool. Okay, if I got enough money, then it's going to translate and get this type of respect from women. No, brother, that's not how it works. Especially in our community, most women are not dating men with money. So I don't know why this is even a thing.
True table. Let me just add this real quick. True table. It seems like you. True table. Let me say this real quick. What you just said right now is 100% correct. When you lead with money, you're going to make a big mistake in relationship. Don't ever do that. Because I got to tell you, even when I was in college, right? My woman was a nurse. I was in college. I was earning the bare minimum. But guess what? I ran the whole house. I ran the shit. I said what happened. Because my dad told me earlier on, never show a woman your financial card. Act like you don't, like I drive a very good car. I don't let girls see my good car whenever I approach them. But now that I'm married, I keep it to myself. But when I was single, I never did that. I've always driven good cars, but I will never let a woman see my car until we've gone a little bit step ahead, further into it. Because I got to be honest with you. You should never lead with your pocket. It's the worst thing you can do to yourself. If you ever lead with your pocket, You dead.
So can I add something though on this point? And I think this is where the modern man and maybe the older guys like me or whatever didn't pass this down. And you learn, you live and you learn. And when you start to understand the nature of people and the nature of women, if you're looking for a wife, and I'll give Crimson Cure this credit. When she breaks down people and the way they act into three categories: biological, cultural, and environmental, it really makes sense, right? Because if you have knowledge, whether a woman is a traditional woman or a not traditional woman, there's a biology of both men and women. And for me, I said this more than once, I don't think that has changed throughout the ages, right? Just the tools that are being used. But it's the cultural things where E-Man was talking about and everybody else that has been lacking, especially in the Black American community. I don't even know what our culture is besides just the ratchet shit that everybody keeps promoting. So, but that's why Muslims, real Christians who are practicing, and people from Africa and everywhere else, they have culture, and the small hats, the Mexicans, the Asians, a lot of people have cultural things that ground them, that give you a head up. We don't have that, right? And so we're going into a situation, if you have awareness that Black Americans don't have that grounding, you have to search for the people who might have some grounding to be a part of the baseline of what you're looking for. Are they even open to some cultural kind of submission, not to you, but to a way of life? And then the environmental thing is the laws and all that kind of shit that's around us. So I think we shouldn't have a scarcity mindset because we're living in a Western culture.
But,
and I keep telling Black Americans.
Let me ask you a question. I just want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What culture is effective without religion?
No, well, hold on. I think religion is a cultural thing.
That's good.
Yeah, E-Man got a point. That's a good question.
Overwhelmingly, the Chinese.
Hey, you better write that down, Trigger Mike.
Religion is a cultural thing, right? You know, the Western culture is ground to Christianity, so to speak, but only a few people actually practice it as a way of life. You know what I'm saying? In China, I mean, I don't know. I think they're Buddhist or not, but they're Buddhists or whatever. But they not only have Buddhist traditions, they also have biological traditions. They have a lot of traditions more than just Buddhists. And so,
they have
in America, so let's just stick with Black Americans, right? Most Black Americans will identify as Christians, but how many are really practicing the Bible?
I don't think they
zero.
It's not.
I mean, the point that I was making, I was simplifying every point that y'all saying. When I said character, valuing character over finances, it's not about the methods or the type of principles that lend to this character, whether it be religion, whether it be to tradition. I'm not going that deep into it intentionally, because if we simplify it, it might help us to be able to change and get some resolutions to it. And right now, we continuously speak about a lot of the details, but we miss the big picture of finding out resolutions. The resolution is value character over finances. It's really that simple. Everything we're speaking about, it kind of is rooted in those things simplistically. Now we can go into the details about those things. You know, we was talking about methods. The gentleman was talking about different methods of how he hides his finances to identify character out of a woman. That's what he does. That's just an identity and a method. So the point is, I think we're saying the same thing. I'm just trying to speak on some resolutions by simplifying it to character, valuing it, versus valuing finances, which is right now a very significant issue.
But even if you look at character still goes back to religion. Like this. I'll let you rock, Sean. The idea, people. Trigger Mike said it, but he said it so quickly earlier. Is that when we start having the most problems in the Black community is when we took religion out. When we took, because words like submission, if you go to the Bible, is not bad words. But if you don't have a foundation, in some type of religion. I'm not even trying to get in detail about what religion, but if you don't have a foundation, it's almost like building the house on a sand mountain. It's going to fall because y'all don't even have a basis.
Let him finish.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
You
All right,
guys
finish
don't
up,
even,
man.
yeah, I got you. You don't even have a basis to go back to. See, the problem is we don't even have where's the basis for us to go back to if we both just making it up as we go? Like we gotta have some basis. The religion do give us that.
The lack
I
of
disagree
foundation.
that character is based on religion. I disagree that if you're agnostic, you don't have any character. I disagree with that.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is, Mr. Rich. It's not literal. What it is that we see that people are fluid. They're character fluid when it's not grounded in religion. It's all fluidity. Right?
It's fluid when it's not grounded in tradition.
Well, which is but we cannot name anybody with a functional culture that is not grounded in religion. The two things go hand in hand.
Absolutely can.
I'm gonna dispute.
A large part of culture comes from religion.
I'm gonna dispute that. I gotta dispute that. This is why I'm gonna dispute that, guys. Religion becomes relevant in the absence of culture. Culture triumphs religion. If you don't have a culture, even the Bible says that you are a lost soul. You have to have a culture. The religion is not made for everybody, because the Christian religion was a replica of the Western culture. That's what it was. It was a modified culture for the Westerners. African culture is far much even stronger than the Christian religion. If you know African culture, it's actually what is made for black people, not the Christian religion itself. Because what happened is this, I got to tell you, if you as a black man want to understand how to operate, go and study African culture, not by Western teachings. Watch African culture by the movies or meet African families. Find out how the culture is being practiced, right? And they will tell you everything. And guess what? I got to tell you this. I used to be a Christian. I stopped because it was so confusing, so chaotic. I went back to being a traditionalist, which was what my ancestors practiced. And guess what? It was far easier for me. That is why you can see me operate in my masculinity, because Christianity actually makes you operate in femininity, not masculinity.
That's not true.
This guy has no idea what the hell he's talking about.
I'm a Christian man. I'm a Christian man, and I agree.
I'm coming before I let you go. Before I let you go, Sean. Look at what the Christian Bible does to. Look at what the Christian Bible does to us. Every church that we go to, they make us to become soft for the women.
That's not true.
They teach us.
That's my point. That's my
Oh man, hold on.
Let me finish.
He might have a point there.
Hold on. Before we go deep onto the religious side, you got to understand that you cannot always blame the religion. You have to blame the person teaching it. It's not.
That's why religion is fluid. That's why I say tradition is better, because tradition is not fluid. Tradition doesn't bend to your whim. Tradition is straightforward. Tradition is straightforward. It sounds.
The similarities between tradition and religion are the principles that they preach, and so it doesn't matter how you dress it up. To either man, you're absolutely right. I'm a Christian man, but the reason why I say it's not just religious, because in the past I wasn't religious, although I've always been very spiritual. And the reason being is because the hypocrisy of those who were leading the religion. So I matured and learned above and beyond that, and I was able to embrace Christianity as my religion. And it was because there was a man whose congregation was very significantly over 50% men in the congregation, and he structured it and had discipline like the Nation of Islam, which is something that is attractive to the masculinity, quote unquote. And so the point being is that what I realized after I got beyond the religion is that the principles that each of these things, if you do the Torah versus the Quran versus the Bible, the principles, they're all identifying different principles with different characters. And
Go ahead, finish up. So, Sean, I just want to tell you this. It's crazy that we try to say that we try to paint this picture that Christianity is not masculine, but most of the manosphere get their talking points from the Bible. When they start talking about submission, and they supposed to like this idea, like people choose. Hold on. People choose to read the Bible the part that they want to. Like if you really look at all the words that people in the manosphere throw around, they're grounded in the Bible. So
I do not reference Bible when I discuss masculinity. I reference African tradition because guess what? When I was going to church, I doubted my masculinity, but when I went back to the tradition, I became more masculine to the core.
That's you.
Because I got to tell you this, right? What you don't know, you don't know. When you practice culture, you're going to be like, wow. I'm telling you for real. I was born in the culture. I'm born in Christianity. So I practice both growing up. But when I got to tell you, just like if you want to meet me personally, any day, anytime, maybe through the phone or through podcast, and you want to see how men operate in tradition, then you got to see how men operate in tradition. Because I got to tell you, women respond much better to tradition than religion. Because sometimes religion pander to women. But when tradition, if you meet a Nigerian girl today and tell her that, oh, you're a traditionalist, she will run away from you because she believes you're too masculine for her. That's how our Nigerian girls see somebody that practices tradition. But when you say, I go to church, she's like, oh, that's my man, because she knows you're going to operate in femininity half of the time. I'm telling you, for real.
I hear what you're saying. I just...
So that's what I was...
I'm sorry. I just want to make this point. The reason why I was simplifying it to character is so that we don't go the rabbit hole of religion versus our different views on it. It's because really it's still rooted in character and principles.
I understand what you're saying because guess what? 5 years ago, there is this girl that I think that time then she was my wife. She was my girlfriend before she became my wife. My wife and my girlfriend and I went kind of separate ways. So this girl, she and I started dating. She's a Nigerian girl. Then she asked me, which church you go to? I said, no, I don't go to church. She's like, why don't you go to church? I said, I'm a traditionalist. She's like, you stupid, idiot, masculine man, don't call my phone again. I'm telling you. She called me a masculine man, never to call her phone again. And that was it, we never talked again.
Hold on, Trigger Mike. We cannot let this pass, Trigger Mike. Is this the same black man that says that he can walk up to a black woman and tell her to shut up?
Hold on. You forgot to add you forgot.
God frozen. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Real 83. Hold on, trucker. Let me get these super chats. You're freezing. Real 83, $5. Salute to E-Man Williams. Everything you said was facts. Clement Gray, $5. People don't value marriage anymore. People of yesterday were committed to the cause. Now people are committed to being uncommitted, religion or not. That is true. And let me tell you my ultimate thought on this because I heard y'all talk. You have to understand that this is what initially happens. The need for a man, therefore the need for marriage, is not erased. It's delayed. All there is a buffer in between it now. All you see is 40-something-year-old women, especially black women, 50-year-old something women trying to repent for their sins now. That's what you see. Go on Instagram and look at these ladies uploading videos. If you pay attention, I left my husband because, and let them speak all the truth to you. All right. The need for a man is not erased. It's just delayed. And in that delay, you will become ineligible for the man you want. You will become ineligible for the man you're supposed to be with. You will watch him create the family that was meant for you with someone else who obeyed and listened and took value in a man and his purpose. And they built a life of intention. So what we're going to see now, like I said before, is an influx of the most women we have ever seen trying to repent, but nobody can do anything for them. The men that are marriage eligible, the men that would have carried them into the promised land, that they could have built substantial lives with, they no longer want them, can't get them, right? and their life is just going to go.
And that's why we got the Black China syndrome. That's why we got the Black China syndrome.
Exactly.
So I just want to tell Trigger Mike that was a great point, but Instagram ain't real. You could have removed Instagram.
No. I think
Instagram is former reality.
No,
listen. Hold on. I'm not talking about. I'm 100%. If pastors use Instagram as a medium to reach the people, people can use Instagram to reach the people. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but when I say before you get to the next one, I'm saying Instagram is not real. That doesn't show me the full story. They just show me what they want us to see. Like
people aren't real. To your point, people aren't real. They don't show you the whole story. So what is it?
Emmanuel, you said something earlier that really captured my attention. You said, "Oh, is this the same guy that said something about masculinity, but another girl ran away from him?" Okay, let me address that. That girl that I was talking about, number one, she was a divorcee. Number one. Then number two, she had a baby. So she's totally disqualified in my book. So I had to be more masculine as I can.
Why are you talking to her though? Why was you even entertaining?
No.
He was
trying to clap some cheeks because he knew she was fucking. That's why.
He was trying to bust those cheeks. No doubt about it. He's trying to bust
he already got a kid.
Number one, in African tradition, I can box the chicks. You see what I'm saying? That's not a problem but she's not qualified. As long as I'm concerned, she's not qualified to be a first wife because she already have a baby. In African tradition, this is how it goes. When you as a woman have a child by another man, you cannot be a first wife to another man. You totally disqualify from being a first wife.
So you were building your roster.
So no, I wasn't. I'm never going to marry her because I didn't have a first wife.
Recreation.
Apart from recreation.
Well, hold on. Let me ask some questions. I just got one question. So, are you in America? Are you in America or are you in Africa currently?
I live in Dallas.
You in Dallas, and so you feel like you feel like giving men the advice to walk around telling women to shut up and sit down is the best advice for an American. No, for real.
Guess what? I never told you to. I never told. I
just want to finish my question. So you saying based on African traditions, men should be walking around telling women to shut up, be back, and telling them to sit down, and that's the best way that men in America should be moving. Is that the advice that you give them?
It's gonna be stupid for a man to walk around on the street and telling every woman around him to shut up and sit down. That's callous. You see what I'm saying? It's very stupid of a man to do that. But what in theory, what I was saying is this: you have to learn how to tell your woman to keep quiet. Your woman, not another woman. You can only control your woman. You don't have right to control another person's woman or somebody else's daughter. If she's your woman or she's going to be your wife, yes, you got to know how to control her. Because guess what? You have to be able to control a woman. If you don't control a woman, she controls you. One of you have to control each other. Somebody got to be the head. If you can be the head, she's going to be it. And if you can be,
hold on, because maybe I misheard you earlier. Hold on, I'm gonna tag Sean. Now, Sean, am I off? Did he say that he walked up, he saw two people arguing that wasn't his woman? He walked up and he said, "Sit down, woman," and she listened.
You're bringing English language from an African mentality that just don't apply to the English culture and the American culture.
Yeah, American culture.
And here's some of the words that you're using. Control. That just doesn't apply to the American culture in the manner that you're using.
In a modern day too.
Even in any day, that control word is a triggering word that I understand it, but when you apply it to in context, the way that he's using it, it can lose its luster. And so, as opposed to using that word, you might want to use a different word. It's kind of.
I'm a team man. Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh my God.
Let me read this last super chat from Mr. Rich. $5. It would be great to get the Crimson Cure to talk biology, cultural, and environmental impacts on society. What do you mean by biology.
Well, we all biological creatures. It does govern some of the way we behave in our environment.
Is she
women and men are different, right? Biologically.
Oh, okay. I see. Like intersexual.
And we can't belittle the fact that we're different. I mean, the easiest example is during a sexual encounter. I mean, for men and women, it's completely different. And we don't think of it that way because women try to tell people it ain't that way, but it is because they're receivers and we're givers.
Nice.
It makes a difference biologically, So, I mean, we don't have to go down that path, but there's other reasons, right? The way the environment impacts women and it impacts us is different, and the way the culture gets absorbed by the mentality of a man and a woman is also different. I mean, Kristen could explain a lot of that shit better than me. But all I'm just trying to say is, I'm not saying bring her on. I'm just saying it's a thought because she makes so much sense out of that shit when she talks about it.
I saw her in the chat one time. I was humbled.
And I think it's beneficial to some conversations in a certain context. I'm
gonna bring her on. I sent her an email. If she responds, I gotta send emails like that while I still hold some weight out here. Okay.
I hear you.
Exactly. They just see me on Lapeef Let's Talk. They think I'm somebody, so I'm gonna use that juice while I got it.
Listen, all I gotta say is I bought 5 of her books that she just came out with, and I sent them to some selective women in the thing. But I kept one for myself to read.
Those women hate you now, I'm sure.
Of course, my sister called me up, and she was in hysterics. She said, when I opened the package, I couldn't believe you sent this to me. I said, yeah, because I think your ass needs it.
Hell yeah. You told me some of the conversations you had with them. All right, let's get final thoughts. 30 seconds or less, fellas. I gotta go get my baby girl. Mr. Rich, final thoughts.
Yeah, okay, just in 3 things. But Eva, I think that's her name. Whatever reason why she wants to get a divorce, the number one reason is she wants a guilt-free ride the carousel.
Busting.
To the next
guilt-free cheek busting. Yep.
Right. Yep. To the next man. The other thing is Jonathan Majors got to take an L for picking some ratchet ass honey who would put him under the bus. He's not going to get away. Even if he gets off on all the charges and all that, great. I'm happy. But you can't be picking no ratchet ass honey when you're at the level that you're at. Yeah, period. You just can't. You can't get a pass on that.
You know what? I will say this, Mr. Rich. I think the problem is so bad that these women aren't ratchet. Like when they meet them. No. I think the problem is that these women are chameleons. I've heard that word. Yep. I heard that word so much.
Okay, you can't get when you go, you can give them a pass. On me, I'm not giving them a pass. He's an asshole.
No, it's not a pass. I'm actually saying that they're treacherous. They're like devious like that to where they're behaving. Even their past might check out. But because you are who you are, imagine it was like a text coming to his phone. I saw something on Instagram that where a woman was basically saying, do you know who this man is? He's the man of the year. He may not even be interacting with women. These women may actually be throwing themselves at him. So a woman has to have a good head on her shoulders to be able to react to that.
No. Let me just finish my little short list, okay? I hear you. We could agree to disagree on that one. There's a lot of great women out there. I think he was lowbrowing it, and he got this chick because he was sexually enamored with her, and that's just like every other dude out there. And he should have himself. It happens, but that's just my little thing. The last one is the credit thing. That's nothing new. People put themselves in credit all the time, and it's going to just be more people putting themselves in credit. And Mike, before I go, you got to let me know how do I reach out to you somehow? Because I don't know.
I'll put my info in the back chat.
Okay.
That's it. Eat man. Final thoughts.
I said Apple is showing more than ever that most men and most women need each other. The reason you got to pay Letty is because you ain't got no husband or you ain't got no wife, right? If y'all was splitting half of the rent, if y'all was splitting half of the bill, you can pay your full price for your Apple phone. And the thing that I want to tell people is that, it's just one of those things is that we got to get back to a foundation. It can't be based on how I'm feeling. If you don't have any type of foundation, it will be based off someone's feelings. And so when I start talking about religion, I start talking about Bibles, because I haven't heard a guy who quote unquote called himself an atheist. And he got the quoting scriptures about why his wife should submit to him. You can't expect her to do things of the Bible if you're not following God. I must be submitted to God if I want a woman to submit to me. That's just how it works, and that's just how we have to do it if we want to get this thing back in order. So that's just my final thoughts on that.
I can't disagree with that. Passport bro, Mr. Charles, final thoughts.
Well, to the first one with Eva, hey, you know, this shows that a lot of women are suffering from FOBO, with the fear of better options or fear of missing out, however that thing works, because she feels like she can jump on the market and do better. And you know, as a whatever that guy that she married, you know, hey, you know, sorry he has to learn that way, but you know, men have to kind of understand what they're getting themselves into, because I don't think that guy even had kids before he even got with her. As far as the what was the other top? What was the other point? What was the other point?
Apple Pay later, and Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Major. Yeah. With the Jonathan Major thing, you have to set the tone, and I learned from mistake too, because I did all that. You have to set the tone ahead of time. You can't waver. You have to set the tone and force her to revolve around how you set up the foundation. And Apple Pay, hey man, if you just don't got the money, go get the money and then pay for it. Do not try to do the whole credit analysis and then trying to fix it later. And with the high interest rates, it's not worth it in the long run. Luckily, I got my credit good, but at a good amount of time, it was bad. But not as good. Keep it good, and don't let it go into the red.
Your advice is sound, but they're not gonna listen, bro. I mean,
hey, you only put the information out there.
Consumerist culture, bro. They're not gonna listen, bro. Yeah. They are doomed, and you know what? Hey, they're doomed. I don't even want to say. Mr. Sean Bolden.
Yes, sir. I wasn't here for the Eva, but I will speak on that. Women are just in a place where they're leaning into momentary feelings as opposed and making decisions that are permanent when they're feeling in the moment of happiness. And that's just something that has been recommended not to do for ages. And so with that being said, we have to really start addressing it as such. Don't make permanent decisions on a momentary feeling. That's what I would say to all women, people, etc. In reference to Jonathan Majors, I saw that coming a mile away. He was showing all of the signs of putting himself in that position, and unfortunately, he fell victim to what is one of the worst drugs out there right now, which is fame. And unfortunately, when you are getting into that spectrum, that comes with the territory if you're not careful. And that's a lot of brothers getting into it. They're running a fine line. Here's some of the signs I saw. He was wearing things that will make him feel a little less threatening to others. And when you put yourself in those positions, you are emasculating yourself. And when you're you're compromising, quote unquote, your integrity. And when people compromise their integrity to get to where they want to go, results that are happening to him happen often. And that's just me being in the industry for over 30 plus years and seeing that directly up close as well as from afar, which I'm seeing it from him. So when that happened to him, I was not surprised whatsoever. I was like, oh, he was speaking it. He was holding hands. He was showing all of the characteristics that leads to that outcome. So I'm not surprised on that. And God willing, he will be able to get through it, and it will be able to help him grow mentally and help him grow to where he could sustain the things that he achieved. Lastly, what we value appreciates, and what we don't value depreciates. And so to the point that I was making earlier, we need to value character. more so than monetary morality over more monetary gain is something that I think needs to be emphasized a little bit more on. Honesty is the root of all of that. If we can be honest with ourselves and honest on things that we value other than the things that a capitalistic society feeds us to believe, we will probably have a lot better balance amongst us. So value something more so than your accolades, your achievements, your things that make you feel better.
All right. Mr. Ikene, take us out. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm going to respond to Ema about tradition and the atheism.
We're gonna let you go.
Final thoughts. I got smoke.
Yeah, when you talk about that's final thought. Yeah, that's part of my final thought. When you talk when you say atheism, right? Atheism is for people that don't believe in God at all. Tradition and religion is the same thing. Tradition is institutionalized. Religion is institutionalized. Tradition is not, but they all work towards God. You see what I'm saying? So when people say that they believe in tradition, not in religion, meaning that they prefer to worship God through the tradition of their ancestors, that their ancestors set in place, not something that somebody else brought from a foreign land. Then vetting. Vetting is very necessary, like I always tell people. When you vet a woman, look for somebody that can vet a woman, which is a woman. Because one thing is this, if you look at Jonathan Major, the problem with men like that is because they want a woman that match their style. And most women that will match that style are trashy because they might be wearing clothes, but you don't know their past, where they've been, how traumatized they've been in life, who dated them, which environment did they grow up in. Environment matters a lot, especially when it comes to we as humans. If you bring a girl or you marry a girl from a messed up environment, she's bringing that to your house. She's going to raise your kids with that, and she is not going to be able to perform in a stable environment because she's unstable. That lady is unstable. She's been unstable in her first marriage. She grew up unstable. So she will always be unstable. Many women, some women that grew up in family of two, where you have two parent household, the fact that they grew up in family of two doesn't mean they are from stable family. Where did their parents grow up from? Maybe their parents were unstable. So they were raised by unstable parents, like Tia Mari. We don't know the history of our parents. You see what I'm saying? So knowing the family that you're marrying into and marrying the right girl matters a lot. But do not, under any circumstance, allow a woman to be in charge of your family because it's never made for women to be in charge. You might think that that Western culture dictates how humans should operate. No, Western culture does not. Western culture is a modification of what God already created and in contradiction to it. That is why nature fights back. Men are not supposed to act like this, even in the West, by softening their masculinity. Because men in the West are softening their masculinity, women are feeling that vacuum. You are never supposed to soften your masculinity. Men in the Middle East are supposed to operate like men. Men in America are supposed to operate like men. Men in the West are supposed to operate like men. Men in Africa are supposed to operate like men. Lion operates the same no matter the jungle where you put a lion. He operates like a lion. You cannot choose to operate as a soft man in the West, but then as a masculine man in the East. No. You have to be a man no matter where you are. If a woman can't conform to your program, then don't marry. Get a woman pregnant. Get into a contract. Have a child and settle her and move on. But if you want to die young or kill yourself, then marry a woman that will not conform to your program. Because I got to tell you, when you have somebody in the house with you, right? When you have somebody in the house, that is all over your ears, she is far worse than a woman that you have to pay child support.
All right.
Speaking of child and support, Trigger Mike. We got
Hey, Trigger Mike, can you give me 8 seconds? Because I did want to talk about Jonathan. I forgot.
Watch it be 8 minutes. Go ahead.
Hey, 8 seconds. So I know you got to do it. So, hey, check this out. I'm going to say this right here. If you want to share a sale with Jonathan, listen to the man from Dallas who said, tell these women to shut up and sit down. So I just told to tell y'all, if you want to share a sale, listen to the Africans.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming on the Trigger Mike Show. Catch y'all tomorrow. Salute to everybody. All right. That was a good one, man. Thank y'all for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show this evening. I'm not sure what's going on the Lapeef Experience channel, but there will be a show. Thank you for tuning in. We are on the road to 100,000. If you have not, make sure you like this video and also subscribe. Before you head out, hit that like button if you have not done so already. We appreciate all your super chats and your support. We'll be back tomorrow with another banger for you. Please stay tuned, subscribe, and also go to my channel at Trigger Mike Show and subscribe. I'm going to be releasing my own personal shorts. Again, I know I've been slacking and just doing clips, but I'm going to have my own personal shorts for you. If you are a fan of mine, please make sure you support my YouTube channel and on Instagram. My Instagram is blowing up for some reason. My wife is all excited, think I'm about to be rich. Hopefully she's right. All right. I'll see y'all later tomorrow. Appreciate your support. Bye-bye.